The second half of the XCAL Racing $5 Tuesday Series begins on Memorial Day weekend at Michigan International Speedway. 200 laps, 400 miles on the most incredible racetracks of them all on the schedule. We welcome you to MIS for the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist 400. After an incredible all-star weekend last week, it was Matt Pelletier taking home the Butt Kicker Gamer Pro. He looks to sweep the month of Michigan with a win in tonight's event. But any of these drivers have a chance of winning it, and you always have a favorite. Good evening, friends. Marty Sakala alongside with Doug Burns and How to Suck at iRacing as he works in Mission Control tonight. Doug, we watched it last week with an incredible race at MIS. We had 2 wide, we had 3 wide, we had 4 wide, but that was only drivers going at it for 75 green flag laps. Tonight, we go at it for 200 all the way.
Yeah, it is always exciting when XCAL goes to Michigan, but the longer the race and the frustration gets out there, there's going to be a lot of tore-up race cars because you do have the threat of the big one. And that is always a bunch of excitement when they're 3, 4, and occasionally we even get to see some 5 wide. We'll see the pack break up a little bit, but as we saw last year, that pack broke up, but late in the race, the pack was back together again, and it got really, really interesting really, really quickly.
Absolutely. We're going to talk with a couple of drivers here right now in pre-race. We got 2 Matts we're going to start with. We'll get to Matt Pelletier in just a moment, but first we want to bring in Matt Bear driving the number 420. Matt Bear kicks us off here. Matt, just talk about Michigan, and I know it was a really tough race, but how angry are you to go out and chase down this win big time?
I mean, I ain't too angry. It is what it is. I mean, big track, long track. Hopefully fuel mileage comes into play. I'd love to see the race go green the whole way here tonight. And because I think me and my teammates are probably the 3 best fuel mileage cars besides maybe Austin and Craps are here tonight. So, I mean, if we can get some long runs right here, spread us out, I think we may be able to get some spots on them here in pits. But you never know, man. They could go either way.
Now, Matt, I have to chime in here. I've broadcast you in a couple other races since last week. You've not had the best luck. You'll have good runs. Something goes wrong, and I know there's got to be some aggravation there. Are you coming in frustrated, or do you got the lucky rabbit's foot and you feel good about it?
Nah, I think we got the lucky rabbit foot tonight. It's a long race. There's no reason to be aggressive super early. I'm just going to try to ride around, save some fuel, let other people do dumb stuff. I'm just going to try to hang out until 10, 15 to go, and even then, there's no need to go because somebody else is probably going to push and cause a caution, and then we're going to have a green-white checker to the finish. And as you know, that's a crapshoot, so I'm just going to try to take it easy, man. Ain't no reason to be super aggressive here early. Maybe try to lead a lap or 2, but ain't no need to be chopping people and doing anything dumb until we get to about 195.
Alrighty, Mac. Best of luck to you tonight, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Matt Baird driving the number 420, starting from position number 10 tonight. Our second interview that we'll be talking with tonight is Austin Edwards, your points leader coming on in. Austin, let's talk about it coming on in. You are the points leader, 2376 to 2127 over Luke Turpin. Just talk about your first half and the positive takeaways you've had on the year.
You know what, Marty? I'm all about consistency here. You know, we had a good season last year, broke the season wins record, and that was a pretty cool accomplishment and all that, but we've got a lot of poles this year. Obviously, we couldn't get it for the super speedways. Looking for some more success around those, but overall, it's been a good year. We've just been consistent. We haven't gotten in much trouble, and I think that's been the key to staying in points. So, very comfortable league going into Michigan here, but obviously the super speedways are a great place to lose it all. So, we're going to go in today, be as cautious as we can, but see if we can keep up front like we have all year.
Doug, you got anything you want to ask?
Man, Austin, I have to ask, you had some good luck in the cone car. You haven't been out on the track yet tonight. Are you back in the cone?
To be honest with you, Doug, I don't remember because I am not on my sim rig work today, so we're going to find out.
Well, the cone car is obviously lucky, so just saying.
Well, I don't think that I took it off, so we're about to find out.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go, man. Best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you, guys.
That's Austin Edwards driving car number 18. Let's get to our winner from last week in the All-Star race, Matt Pelletier, who will be getting a Butt Kicker Gamer Pro. Matt, I gotta ask, after last week, has it set in yet?
Oh, absolutely. I'm on top of the high horse, living life the best I can, spending the $1 million. Oh, wait, I just got a butt kicker. Anyways, I actually just got the butt kicker in literally 10 minutes ago. I just haven't had a chance to set it up, but I can't wait to try it out.
That's awesome. What do you think you're going to expect to feel when you take the green flag?
Well, for tonight's race, I'm starting P17, which is kind of not where I wanted to be. If anything, I would like to be on the outside, just kind of, it was a little easier to avoid wrecks that way. But I haven't really decided whether or not I'm going to go up front or, try and fall back and hang in the back for a little bit. We'll see. I got to stick around and see what the riding dirty and dropping bombs, guys want to do here. But I think just the best thing to do here is just avoid as much instance as I can.
Doug, you got anything?
Man, no, just a great run last night, or last week rather. Looking forward to seeing if you can get her back in victory lane tonight.
That's the plan.
Alrighty, Matt, best of luck.
Thanks.
Matt Pelletier in car number 27. By the way, some news out of the Riding Dirty camp that Sean Patrick bought Riding Dirty from Steven Rex earlier in the week. Let's talk with our VPD of XCAL Racing. Of course, that is PDJ Zeller, who didn't show up to the All-Star race last week. He was hanging out in our chat room on Facebook.com/SuckAtIRacing and was hanging out, having a little fun on vacation and promoting the brand. First off, how was your vacation?
Oh, Marty, vacation was a great time. I hate that I had to miss the All-Star race, but it was nice to just get away for a week, go down south with my girlfriend. Had a real good time down in Florida, and I'm so excited to be back here for this one. I love plate racing.
Absolutely you do. We've seen it come from you. You always want to be in these races for sure. Let's talk about the night here. You start in 29th in the top 15. What are you thinking about as we take the green flag here? Do you want to be hanging out in the back of the field, just be patient throughout the night, or do you want to try and make your way to the front and get those 5 bonus points?
You'll see me lead a lap before lap 20. I'm going to get up front. I'll lead a lap before lap 20. Then I'll probably hang out around 7th for the rest of the race. I'll be on the high side. I want to establish the high side, and I promise you, if I don't get wrecked beforehand, I'll be in the mix at the end. I'm not a guy that likes to brag too much, but I truly believe that I'm the best plate racer in XCAL Racing. I believe that to my core. I think that I can draft better than everyone in this league, and tonight I'm determined to prove that. I thought I should have proved that at Texas. Things didn't quite fall the way they should have, but tonight I'm either bringing home the checkered flag and the steering wheel because I'm confident in my ability when it comes to plate racing. I'm aggressive. I'm going to be the aggressor, but I'll be there.
That's actually a good idea for a follow-up question. You and Matt worked really well together at Texas, especially in those final laps. When you try and find him out there on track, are you going to try and hook up with him and try and get to the front?
Well, first, I'd really like to work with a JNS teammate before all else. Me and Mason Foster were working really good together in the heats. I always work really well with Joe Campbell, Zach Edwards. But, if it comes down to the end of the race, your friends are where you find them. And if I find Matt Bear, I said I'm the best plate racer in XCAL. He's right there. He might be the second, or maybe even like 1A and 1B. Matt Bear is really good at these play races. So if we do end up with a chance to get hooked up late and I don't have a teammate around, I definitely wouldn't mind Matt Bear, and that'd be a pretty lethal combination to try to stop at the end here.
Have fun. Good luck out there tonight, PD.
Hey, thank you guys for all you do, and have fun up in the booth.
That's PDJ Zeller in the 00. PD Starling outside of the top 20. Tonight's race is brought to you by Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists. Nationwide wheel repair service no matter where you live. We have a location to repair or paint your alloy rims. Serving the U.S. and Canada, we have a wheel repair expert to help you with wheel repair services or custom coloring. Check out their Greenville, South Carolina location. Give them a call at 864-787-4525.
Austin Edwards giving his drift at the end of practice.
He's already thinking that he's got to win in his back pocket before we take the green flag. Well, we'll see about that as we give you the starting lineup. 42 drivers set to take the green flag. Brett Edgar and Tim Pruitt on the front row. Edgar's first pole, Tim Pruitt making his debut. Kendrick Cryer and Greg Holes on row number 2. Albert Hewins and Ryan Seams in row 3. Row 4, Stephen Wetton and Blake Wynn. Rounding out the top 10 is TJ DeBlasi and Matt Bear. Row number 6 is Joe Campbell, the Charlotte winner, and Nicholas Seams. Row 7, Daniel Miller and Luke Turpin. Row 8, James Johnson and the All-Star winner in Matt Pelletier. In row number 9, Robert Colgan and Jeremy Lettle, 2 underdogs in this race. Row 10 is Alex Krapser and Austin Edwards, the points leader, coming in. Row number 11, Sean Andrews and Gerald Poole. Row 12, Brad Ebel and Sean English coming off $150 won in the All-Star race. Row 13, Zach Edwards and John Schwartz. Schwartz coming close to winning that All-Star race last week. Row number 14, Kyle Bartels and PDJ Zeller. Row 15 is Steven Rex and Edmund Jones. Row number 16 is John Brancaccio and Jake Sylvia. In row 17, Jose Gaudino and Derek Colson. Gaudino finishing second last year at Texas. Row number 18, John Friley and Sean Patrick. Row 19, Jeff Edgar and Don Jordan. Row 20 is Art Hendren and Jonathan Bergeron. And in the final row tonight, Ronnie German and Mason Foster. Mason Foster starting and with an EOL and a strike. Everyone else is good to go. The 062 and the 28 did not qualify tonight as we get set to go racing. 200 laps, 400 miles here around Michigan. Field window about 60 to 65 laps. Of course, that will vary, Doug, especially based off the draft.
It definitely will, and you can't count out a guy like Luke Turpin, although, normally we see Luke Turpin stretch, but last year here, and on these super speedways, he consistently runs a little short on fuel, runs a little shorter fuel window, so a lot of different fuel strategies coming into this race as well, and that is definitely going to come into play, especially with cautions.
Something we got to remember as well, this is an endurance race tonight. We'll see a bunch of green flag pit stops that will spread the field out. We're so glad you could join us for another edition of XCAL Racing on How to Suck at iRacing. We've got a good one set at Michigan International Speedway. Pack racing, 3 wide and 4 wide. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now? Brett Edgar and Tim Pruitt on the front row for 200 laps around the Motor City. Let's go!
Green flag in the air, and you mentioned 3 and 4. We've seen them go 5 wide here late in the race. That could come into play. It's definitely going to be an interesting night of racing here for sure. Everybody still side by side. Nobody making any big moves yet, although expect to see some guys try and fight up here before they get back to the start-finish line.
Ender Cryer pulls down a line down to the inside line along with Tim Pruitt. They're going to the rear of the field.
Holy
that
cow.
was Edgar. Those are the 2 drivers that go to the rear.
We're 4 wide mid-pack already.
Oh, man, it's with Brett Edgar, Luke Turpin, James Johnson, I think Alex Krapser as well. But off of turn number 4, it's the Looney Tunes machine of Tim Pruitt for the Don Jordan Racing Team. They're 3 wide behind him with Stephen Wetton in the middle. And Tim Pruitt leads lap number 1. That's 5 bonus points for leading a lap. Stephen Wetton takes a look to the inside. 2 wide and then 3 wide behind the front row.
This is, you kind of expect a little bit of this up front, but that move on the back straightaway and seeing a lot of guys getting 2 and 3 and 4 wide this early is a little bit chaotic. Look at them as they come down the back straight. Nobody has settled in. I think some of these guys might have forgotten it's an endurance race and we've got a blinker in the lead pack.
Albert Huron's dropping out. He doesn't like what he sees. He's going to the rear of the field. Here's the 15 down to the inside all by himself. You've got Holtz up top. And here is Wetton looking to lead at the line. Ryan Seams giving a nice push to Tim Pruitt. Pruitt leads at the stripe. Something we got to take in mind here. New rule on the super speedways. We talked about this last week during the All-Star race. No advancing your position below the white/yellow line. If you do, you have to give the spot up or you are subject to violation.
Pruitt and Stephen Wetton are leaning on each other through 1 and 2. They touched doors at one point. I am really surprised. It's 200 laps, guys. You might want to dial it back just a hair. If these guys wreck, remember, there is no fast repairs in XCAL. If one of these guys makes a mistake, it can take out half the field.
Something we should talk about, and you just mentioned it right there. the big one is possible in Michigan. We saw it a lot during stage number 1 of the All-Star race next week. Will it happen? Normally at these super speedway races, the question is not if, it's a question of when. We saw the big one break out at Michigan right here last year with Brandon Varney getting a couple of drivers involved in the final 10 laps of this race or so. Went into the race late, he gets 5 bonus points.
Ryan Seams down on the inside of row 2 here. Currently has been blinking since the start of this one. We'll have to keep an ear open and see if he gets a penalty or gets told drop to the back of the field, but definitely not something you want to see in the front of the pack this early in the going.
Witten and Pruitt continue to go side by side. You've got Blake Wynn, who was battling for the win in the All-Star race last week. He won the All-Star race last season. Nicholas Seams, TJ DeBlasi. You've got Matt Bear, Sean English, and look who else is up there. That red 00 of PDJ Zeller. He mentioned it earlier. He said he was going to make his way to the front and get the lead within the first 20 laps. It's lap 5. He is already up 14 positions to 14th. One of the biggest movers of this race so far.
Yeah, definitely not surprised to see PD come charging forward. Matt Bear down the bottom, and you actually asked PD about hooking up with Matt Bear. PD said he wanted to work with his J&S teammates, and don't be surprised if you see them get together, but Matt Bear and PD know how to get the job done here together. So don't be surprised to see those two go to the front together. They're side by side at the moment, but I'd see them hooked up here in a few laps, more than likely.
Oh, man. It is 4 wide for second position, and we are not even the double-digit lap counter at the moment. Wetton continues to lead. That's the 4th lead change of this race, and this is getting wild. You've got a lead pack of about 27. I'm going to say it's actually a lead pack of everybody. 42 cars all going in turn number 2. This is intense at the moment. All in one big pack. You got some drivers playing it safe out of the 4 wide situation. A lot of drivers want to lead a lap of the line. On the inside, it's Ryan Seams in the 131. 3 wide for the top spot. Here comes Greg Holtz in the 19. Still 4 wide for a second. It's getting intense.
Pruitt keeps having looks like corner entry issues. Drifts up in the middle, from the beginning to the middle of the turn. He's gotten into that 19 car of Greg Holtz a couple of times. This is getting really, really dicey. It's a bit early, but apparently they're just going to go for it. From lap 1, it's going to be non-stop all night long.
Matt Pelletier, the number 27, takes his car out to the front of the field. That's the 5th lead change of the evening, and that is the 3rd different leader of this 400-mile race. Greg Holtz to the outside looking for the race lead. Mid-pack, Matt, your all-star winner, 3 wide, with Wetton on the bottom of the 15.
Kenny, I'm making a note to message you after. I just forgot, buddy. And welcome everybody to the chat. Huge shout out to Chris Johnson. Thank you, buddy. Danielle Sargent cheering on J&S. We've got, as always, got Jason Rome cheering on Topher, who isn't even in the race. Someday we'll get Topher in one of these. Cheers for the Brinson Mafia, and Jonathan Schwartz cheering everybody on before he got in the car.
Look at Greg Holtz. He may try and come down on the 60. That would be a very close call in the 19. He's got DeBlasi pushing him on the outside. That's Ryan Seams in the 131 that's currently blinking. His quality and ping look good on our end to me. Oh, hang on, the 60 of Tim Pruitt. The slingshot got loose entering turn number 3. Greg Holtz looking to lead his first lap of the day.
It is a fixed setup, but for whatever reason, Pruitt's having a really tough time here holding onto that car and keeping it consistent around the corner. Meanwhile, it's 4 wide again back behind as some of these drivers just trying to charge their way up. Sean English up 18 spots. Sean Andrews up 4 spots. These guys are sending it early.
English is normally known for being in these races at the right place, right time, especially on super speedways. We learned that at the end of each segment when 50 and $100 were on the line. And Sean English won each of those segments. Couldn't win the butt kicker at the end, but he has enough money, I think, in his pocket to save up for a butt kicker at the moment. Nice push from DeBlasi entering turn number 3. Him and Pelletier side by side. Holtz looking to lead once again.
It's amazing that we have had 9 laps and almost as many leaders
Oh! Pruitt had to back out of the gas because Seams was coming up. Pelletier was coming up. You got Driver scraping the wall. That's Zeller and the 04 of Sean Andrews making their way on the outside.
at this point. Yeah, not surprised to see PD up on the high side. He likes it up there. As we've seen in the past, he likes running that high line at these plate tracks, and it makes things really, if you can carry the momentum off the turn, if you get that run, man, it is hard to beat that high line down the back straightaway.
3 by 3 amongst the front. Oh, DeBlasio is loose. Can he save it? Oh my goodness, what a save from the 78. The 17 of English has to check up on it. See if this splits the pack up, but DeBlasio in front of the field, nearly leading to a big one.
Did you catch that? They were briefly 6 wide as guys tried to get around DeBlasio, but you gotta give a shout out to DeBlasio. Man, that was the best save we have seen in a while. That car completely out of shape, and it looks like he has possibly chosen just to back out of it for a few minutes and catch his breath, maybe change his shorts in the car.
Now we'll see how this splits the pack up, if it does get split up, but you see how it's accordion back. From the looks of it, from the back straightaway, it looks like you've got a parade of cars trying to spell out a message to Aaron Hillebush up in race control that they normally say on Fridays.
It could very well be. That could have been planned, definitely. These guys are nobody's giving an inch here tonight. That to see this much aggression this early definitely speaks to what we're going to see all night long. If they try and stay like this all night long, it could be chaos. They've got to settle down a little bit, but nobody giving an inch.
Something we got to think about once again is fuel economy. Remember, about a 62-lap pit window from some of the drivers as Greg Holmes 4 wide, all by himself. Hold that thought on fuel economy. He's left out to dry. Andrews and Pruitt up on the outside. Let's see how this is going to work. Now, you got to keep in mind, if you're in the draft, you are able to let off the gas by just about a smidge. But if you're out front, you're holding it full throttle, and that's going to waste some gas a little bit. So some drivers will pit earlier than others. But look at the push from Tim Pruitt with the help from Sean English.
And look who has made his way into this lead pack. Mason Foster has come from the back of the field and is now in 8th place, up 34 spots tonight. Mason having one heck of a run. He might be the guy to watch for the win here tonight. Last season, a rough race here. This season, an epic race so far for Mason Foster.
A great start for the JNS driver. We can tell you, by the way, that TJ DeBlasio has fallen all the way back to 18th position after his save. A couple of drivers like Brett Edgar and Kendrick Cryer, who started up near the front, they have decided to fade all the way back to the pack to just ride things out. Here's the battle for the race lead coming to the line. It is this, oh man, I think it was Pelletier that got the stripe, but it was Matt Pelletier. Gives it the 8th lead change of this event. We're still 4 wide entering turn number 1. Drivers not afraid to be aggressive. There's Zeller up on the outside all by himself, but he does not have the help. He's got Edwards, though, behind him. We'll see if they pair up to go for a move on the top shelf.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. You know what's interesting? We've seen 4, 5, and 6 wide already. We've seen a car at the front of the field completely sideways. We're 14 laps into this thing. It's still green. These guys are being extremely aggressive, but still everybody doing a great job holding on to him. Honestly, we heard Matt Baer mention it could be...
Greg Holtz below the white line. Got to let up, and he does. Doesn't advance a position, though, so he looks good. I'm sorry, Doug. Go ahead.
What are the odds of us seeing, for the first time ever, an XCAL Super Speedway race go green to checkers for 200 laps in Michigan? It's insane to think about it, but, you know, there is that possibility.
Very rare situation. Here we go. Sean English inside. Matt Pelletier for the race lead. Let's see if the EHP machine can take the car up to the front. He's got no help. I mean, the 19 of Holt's couple car legs back slide job on Matt Pelletier. Something you see at either a dirt track or a short track. Stuart Friesen knows that very well as we come to the stripe. Pruitt trying to get a big push. Let's see who's got the lead at the line. Pruitt. English can't get the 5 points just yet.
That was a crazy move, but a smart move to slide up in front of Holy cow!
Look at
Here
Zeller.
goes Petey!
He said he was going to lead before lap number 20. It's only lap number 16. Cue up the wheels, folks. Your PDJ Zeller is out front.
Now, is he going to be able to hold that lead and scored the 5 points? Is now
Three
three
wide.
wide at the front and no
Stuck
help
up
for
the
any
middle.
of them.
Petey had his 10 seconds of fame, that's for sure. Tries to come down on Pelletier, that doesn't work. English, though, still looking for those 5 bonus points. Let's see if Pelletier gives him a nice push in 3 and 4.
Out of turn 4, Petey's actually got a run. It's going to be close, but at the line, it looks like Petey's got the nose ahead. He said he would do it. Lap 16, he pulls off the lead here at Michigan. Petey called his shot on that one.
That's the 10th lead change in 16 laps complete, folks. Think about that, how crazy this racetrack is. This is everyone's favorite racetrack. You saw Zeller get loose. There was a little bit of a bump draft that came from Sean English off of turn 2. And this pack is starting to form up once again. 42 drivers roaring down the Michigan back straightaway. Zeller gets a nice push from Sean English. Now does English decide to make a move and go for 5 bonus points? We'll just have to see what happens, Doug.
He does not seem to have, doesn't seem to have anywhere to go. He drops down to the bottom. Petey's,
Sean English. He's laying out. He's laying out. Mason Foster, meanwhile, to the lead. He's the 6th different leader in this race. From 42nd to the race lead already in 18 laps.
This is just insane. Great run by Mason Foster, and he just snuck his way up through the field. We knew he could get it done. We saw it last season, but wow, what a run for Mason Foster. He gets to the lead, and he's got a JNS team. Half the JNS team is at the front right now. JNS, they won at the season opener in Charlotte. They came to win again tonight. They have got something figured out on these plate tracks.
You saw Zeller drop to the back of the field. Of course, that was because he got the 5 bonus points for leading a lap. He's happy where he is. You've got Pruitt still up on the outside with a push from Jonathan Bergeron. First time we've seen him in the top 5 today. And Ronnie Herman, who started in the same row as Mason Foster, he's running 5th at the moment.
Yeah, these guys have definitely worked their way through a lot of traffic, a lot of excitement, to say the least. And everybody, we're still seeing 3 and 4 wide all over the place through the turns. This is crazy.
Nobody is giving up an inch. You got some drivers, though, at the back of the pack just staying single file and being patient, waiting for a big one to happen in case. But this is still a full 42 car pack. You got others like the guys up front contending for the race lead. Look at Jake Sylvia on the outside all by himself. He's 3 wide for the top spot as Pruitt goes to the front.
These guys are it's just crazy. They're settling into 2 lines for a moment. Nope, I spoke too soon. They're going to go back to 3 wide into the turn. Sylvia is leaning down on Tim Pruitt. I don't know, as many problems as Pruitt seems to have on corner entry, looks like it's settled down now. But, Pruitt comes up a little bit. That might be a little dicey.
That's the side draft. You don't see it that often when we are 10% complete of a 200-lap showdown. Mason Foster, though, looking to take the lead back from Tim Pruitt off the corner. You see Sylvia and Bergeron rubbing. We'll see how dicey that could get. They're still 2 and 3 wide at the stripe. I got Pruitt at the stripe, but that's close. No, it's Foster. Foster gets the lead change. But you kind of have a second pack when you think about it. Outside this 2 and 3 wide massacre that could happen, you've got John Schwartz in the 01, who is just riding a single file line, just being patient. Schwartz currently in 28th.
Yeah, and this second pack has some top drivers in it. Daniel Miller, Jim Johnson, Kendrick Cryer, Steven Rex, John Brancaccio, Zach Edwards is back there, Gerald Poole, Alex Krapser. A lot of top guys that we have seen pull off excellent runs here are just hiding out in the back. They remembered it's 200 laps. They've got to be careful.
Coming to the front, Nicholas Seams. The first time he's been out in front, he's got the 5 bonus points. That's your 7th different leader today in competition. But Tim Pruitt feeling feisty once again. Jake Sylvia almost doors Jonathan Bergeron entering the corner. That nearly got tight. Oh, Pelletier gets tight as well. He may try and go 4 wide off of turn 2. This could get crazy down the back straightaway. Nicholas Seams knows that there was some big action that was about to be taken. Sean Andrews goes back to the pack as you've got Pelletier and Pruitt now side by side for the top spot.
Seams just came down in front of Rodney Germain. Came from the high line all the way to the bottom, entering turn 3. That was a bit of a gutsy move. I was surprised to see him make a move like that. But he gets back down to the bottom and now working his way back toward the front. See if he can get back up there and lead some more laps. And, you know, another interesting note, the way these guys are racing, as many lead changes as we've seen, if possible, we could see all 42 drivers lead at least 1 lap here tonight.
We've got already 7 different leaders in this race and 15 lead changes at the start-finish line. It's incredible to see. Could we see 16, if anyone, except for Tim Pruitt, lead to the start-finish line? Edmund Jones in the 51, joining this lead pack. He's in 6th position at the moment as Pelletier gets a nice push from the 960 of Nicholas Seams. They look to go 1-2 at the stripe.
Yeah, you know, Edmonds come from 30th up here to 5th. Rodney's come from, 41st to 5th. These guys from the back, they just charge through this field. 24 laps, they all pick up a ton of positions, but unlike a cup car, in these cars you get a big run in the draft. And if you know how to time it, if you know how to do it, you can charge through the field and pick up just all sorts of positions. Meanwhile, mid-pack, it looks like something might have happened last time by. The pack a little bit starting to break apart.
I mean, you look at these biggest movers real quick. You've got Bergeron up 37, German up 36, Jones up 24, Foster's up 28, Don Jordan's up 20, Sean Patrick is up 14. It's just absolutely crazy the racing we are seeing at the moment. Drivers going from the rear to the front, wasting no time.
Yeah, it's definitely, this is a bit crazy to see as much excitement as we knew in the last 15 laps. You heard Matt Baer talk about it. There's no sense in making a move until 5 to go tonight. But look at the way these guys are racing right now. They apparently didn't get the memo.
The 17th place car is just over 1 second behind. The 24th place car is 2.3 seconds behind. The 30th place car is 3 seconds back. This is just absolutely amazing racing we are seeing to begin the Alloy Wheel Specialists 400.
And you know, Jose Godino is that 30th place car. He is back 3.1 seconds, and I guarantee you if he got a little bit of a push, pulled up to that little group in front of him, he could be to the front in about 2 laps if he wanted to. This is them laying back, playing it safe, because they have probably gotten word from teammates about how crazy it's getting up front, and they're going to stay back there and play it a little bit safe for the time being.
Let's just remember as well, this is about a $400 purse that is on the line for the drivers here. That's the 2nd biggest purse we have had this season. The race at Charlotte to begin the year was about $425. So there's a lot at stake for the 42 drivers here at Michigan tonight. Let's see who amongst the top 2 leaders gets it at the line. It's Pruitt once again.
Pruitt's having a really great run here tonight, and looking forward to seeing how he finishes. He's keeping that car up front, keeping it safe, but he's also struggled with the handling, especially on cold tires. It looks like that car has kind of come to him once the tires have warmed up, but yeah, it's been a big surprise to see that car a bit all over the place.
It's his first XCAL start this season. TJ DeBlasi trying to make his way back up through the field, but he's currently in 18th, stuck up on the high side with Robert Colgan with him. Remember, if you just joined us earlier on, TJ DeBlasi got really loose and nearly spun the car in front of the pack in turns 3 and 4, but made a fantastic save. Matt Pelletier back out in front. That is the 18th lead change of this race.
I think we might see a different leader every lap. I feel bad for the admins having to figure out who leads the most laps here today, because at this point, I don't think anybody's led more than any individual has led more than 3 or 4 laps. And some guys have come up, led a lap, dropped back, and other guys are working on doing the same thing right now.
I think probably outside of Pruitt and Pelletier, everyone has led either 3 or under at the moment. Of course, we know Pruitt and Pelletier have been the lap leaders so far early on without even looking at the stats. We can tell you that completely for sure. You've got Nicholas Seams, Edmund Jones, the first 2 drivers on the bottom. You've got Bergeron and Ronnie German, the first 2 up top. And then behind them, you've got Blake Wynn, PDJ Zeller, Austin Edwards back up here. And we do want to give a big shout out to Austin Edwards. His 35th XCAL Racing start this season. All-time leader in wins with 15.
You got to think that is just under a 50% win average. If he could win the next few races, he could get himself to a 50% win average. That is crazy to think. Given the level of competition here in XCAL, for any driver to pull that off is truly impressive. Just shows you how good Austin Edwards is. And look at the mess back behind. Holy cow.
A 3Y with Sean English and the 61 of Don Jordan in the middle. We just had our 20th lead change of this race in 30 laps. 2x2, 3x3 throughout the field. Tim Pruitt, Matt Pelletier, Jonathan Bergeron, Nicholas Seams, Ronnie German, the top 5 as we go side by side. If trouble breaks out, no, there it is. Seams goes around along with a 60, covering it out of control. 10 cars at least are in it.
And that is the big one. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, and here we are. See if we can get some replays from... Looks like it started with Tim Pruitt. Huge shout out to Flaming Karma for the replay, and here we go. Tim Pruitt just gets a bump from behind. It turns him down, and just chaos back behind.
What a tough break. About 10 drivers, at least 10 drivers are involved, and you said the bump trap. The guy to be happy that was in front of him, your race leader, Matt Pelletier.
Here comes, you get to see John Brancaccio come through this. He just gets into Schwartz. There's already a huge pileup. Let's see Nicholas Seams.
Nowhere to go. He was just an innocent bystander in all of that.
Yes, he was. Several innocent bystanders in that. Several guys get caught. A few actually managed to survive and make it through, but wow, what a ride for Seams. That is heartbreaking. Jonathan Schwartz caught a piece of it. Greg Hulse caught a piece of it. Greg Hulse had been up front and led a lap earlier on. Greg down on the bottom.
I'm looking at some of these guys like Matt Bear get all the way down to the inside retaining wall to try and miss that wreck. That was scary. And this was also a wreck where you did not want to be a driver perhaps running in the rear of the field. You had guys like Jeff Edgar involved trying to see if the 16 and the 29 missed it. If you went in the skid pad, good chance was that you missed it. But if you decide to go the other way, good chance you were involved. Jeremy Leto, Art Hendren missing it. John Brancaccio coming to a stop and also missing that. Just a wild development to break out here at Michigan International Speedway. 31 laps are in the books. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
Howdy, partner. This here thing is the XCAL Super Train. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting loose. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
We are back here at Michigan International Speedway after our first caution flag of the race for a big one on lap number 30. Ronnie German gets the black flag for that as we reset the field to come back to green. We will have a new leader coming back to green. Blake Wynn will restart as the race leader. Matt Bear is second. Kendrick Cryer restarts in third. Luke Turpin fourth. Austin Edwards 5th, Stephen Wetton 6th, Matt Pelletier 7th, Jeff Edgar 8th, Brett Edgar 9th, and Mason Foster rounds out the top 10.
A lot of torn up race cars, and it's probably a good thing all the drivers had Whale PD disabled for tonight, because I'd imagine there's a bit of frustration out there right about now.
Oh, we don't even have to admit, we don't have a feeling. We know there's a lot of frustration out there. Couple of drivers out of the race. Edmund Jones, Derek Colson, Jonathan Bergeron amongst the notables, same with John Schwartz. Remember, driver that leads the race cannot fire first because this is a super speedway race per XCAL rules. We are back to the green flag as Blake Wynn gets them going. Nobody on the inside on the lead lap like TJ DeBlasi, R. Hendren, Joe Campbell, Gerald Poole, Tim Pruitt. They are all fighting to get back on the lead lap.
A lot of cars losing a lap here, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can get it done, get back to the lead lap as they fight their way forward. Gerald Poole is one that he's dropping to the back. He pulled over and has started dropping to the back. Not sure what the move is there, but he's just fallen to the back of the field now.
But now you've got Blake Wynn and Matt Bear side by side for the race lead. Here comes Mr. Bing Bong himself in the 420. This would be the 23rd different lead change of this race and our 10th different leader of the afternoon. If he can get it at the line, he cannot. Margin at the stripe was 100th of a second in favor of Bear. You got Kendrick Cryer up there in third position. That's TJ DeBlasi, remember, in the 78, trying to get back on the lead lap all by himself. I wonder what the leaders are thinking with DeBlasi in the way.
Well, they're probably not real happy about it, but there's not a lot they can do. He is up there and fighting his way forward, and he doesn't have to give up the position per XCAL rules. He's one lap down. He can fight to try and get back to the lead lap. Another lap down, he would have to come back or give up the position, but he's still in a position to fight his way back here.
3 wide for second behind Matt Bear, Blake Wynn, Matt Pelletier, and Luke Turpin. First time we have seen Superman up near the front today, currently running in third position.
Not surprised. Luke Turpin likes to hang out in the back early in these things, so we'll have to wait and see if he stays up front. Matt Bear has led a lap now. He's going to drop back to the back. Almost had an incident there between Pelletier and Edgar. They both get through clean. I thought I saw Brett Edgar involved in that incident, but obviously the car okay, because he is up here fighting to lead a lap now. Pelletier trying to hold on to the lead. Turpin just sitting there riding along.
Tim Pruitt going off track. No caution needed as we go back to green, but look at the pole sitter go. Back out in front, car number 1.
Brett Edgar officially leads his first lap of the night, because I don't believe he led one earlier. So now he fights back up in the lead, gets the bonus points, and a lot of drivers going for those bonus points here tonight. Brett Edgar obviously trying to get a few, as is Luke Turpin, Blake Wynn, Don Jordan. Now that the field has been thinned out a little bit, some new names come to the front. Some of these guys were just hanging out at the back for the first part of this one.
How about Don Jordan in the 61? Normally a guy you see in the back of the field, but this man is running inside the top 5. Imagine the top 5 finish if he could get that done today. A win, though, would be really special.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It'd be awesome to see him up there because, you know, he tries so hard. He always does a great job. He's a clean driver. Just a lot of bad luck and just not a lot of consistency. But, man, it would be awesome to see a guy like Don Jordan get to the lead.
3 wide for the top spot. Remember, the 78 not in the battle for the race lead. Trying to get back on the lead lap. That's TJ DeBlasi. It's Edgar versus Pelletier, but the high side's got a big push. That is Don Jordan. Then you've also got, is that the 88 I see of Kyle Bartles?
Looks like, yeah, that is Kyle Bartles up there as well.
It is Bartles who's trying to get up there. Brett Edgar, though, a nice lead on Matt Pelletier. We're 3 wide for third, with Blake Wynn in the middle. Austin Edwards trying to get up there and give a nice push.
And look who else survived the chaos. Joe Campbell was caught up in that. He was the winner at Charlotte. The J&S crew definitely knows how to get it done on these super speedways. And one of the guys that was right there when the accident happened but managed to survive and continue moving forward, Mason Foster, still in the top 10, just lurking, waiting for his chance.
You saw Brett Edgar go down into the skid pad to just drop out, so we'll have our 25th lead change coming up in just a moment. You got Matt Pelletier leading, Don Jordan still 3 wide for second spot. If I'm Matt Pelletier, do you like having TJ DeBlasi behind you helping you out?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it depends on if you've worked with him, if you've had practice bump drafting together, because it all comes down to, do you trust the guy pushing you down the straightaways or not? And if you do, you love having him back there. If you don't, I can tell you, if it's somebody I don't like, I'll tell him, please don't bump draft me.
Look at Luke Turpin. He just had a big push from Jake Sylvia. Those guys trying to lead their first laps of the day. Pelletier still thinking about working with the 78 of DeBlasi. As they go at it, Luke Turpin just enough room above the out of bounds line to get a push from Sylvia. And he's looking to go for the race lead here, Doug.
Oh my God, they were 4 wide again. They didn't learn anything from that first wreck. In the first part of this race, there were so many close calls. But here we are, 4 wide again, and now it's going to be a Turpin-Pelletier drag race. And it looks like it's Turpin by a nose.
26th lead change, your 11th different leader in this race, and we're only 41 laps in the books. Jake Sylvia looking for a second on Matt Pelletier. That's going to be tough. Pelletier still has the fight in it. Meanwhile, the third lane not working for Don Jordan, who's leaning upstairs. Kyle Bartles trying to give him that push. Pelletier trying to shut the door on Turpin, but Turpin's at his door. They are door to door down the back straightaway.
Kendrick Cryer started to move forward. He had his left sides below the white line. I don't know if race control is going to call it. He did not actually advance. He pulled even with the 17 of Sean English, but does not advance his position. So, oh my goodness.
What a bump draft from Cryer.
Wow. That was probably one of the hardest bump drafts you'll ever see. He just full sent it into the car in front, and wow. That was
and you
nuts.
gotta remember as well, they are teammates at the camp. You got Sean English up there in second, who's a part of the EHP camp. And now look at this. Because of that bump draft, top 2 trying to get a breakaway beginning here. They've got about 2 car lengths ahead of Blake Wynn and Luke Turpin. Slingshot engaged for Sean English entering turn number 3.
The one thing, if you bump draft that hard, you end up losing momentum by doing that. It unsettles both cars, so they've got to be careful just how hard they bump, and it does look like the word was sent back, hey, back off a little, Kendrick, don't bump quite so hard. That's going to cause an incident, and it does not help.
I got to tell you something. Sean English has been battling for the race lead a lot throughout the race. However, though, he has yet to lead a lap. This could be the time right now he does it, but Pelletier challenging big time on the outside. Meanwhile, 3 wide behind them. Austin Edwards has the outside line, working out well for him on his end. Can Pelletier put the big block on English? He can. Now Edwards switches to the middle line. He switches down to the bottom in front of Luke Turpin. That leaves De Blasi out to dry on the outside. English looking to go out to the front with help from his teammate.
Yeah, no surprise seeing Austin make moves, get himself back up front, and helping his teammate. He is the car owner, so hey, he finally gets Sean English 5 bonus points. And you know, Austin has all these wins, but he is such a big supporter of his team as well that he is happy to sit back there and help push one of his team to the lead.
Last race, I remember Sean English coming close to a win. You got to go back to USA earlier this year with a great battle with Luke Turpin and Austin Edwards throughout the race. Does he have a win yet in XCAL this season? I want to say he does. He doesn't. Okay.
Nope, not yet, but I have a feeling we're not far from it, and holy cow, everybody is just, I cannot believe the aggression that we're still seeing. We're not a fourth of the way through this one, and yet these guys are still 3 and 4 wide.
This one looks to be a 26-car peloton pack at the moment. The 10th place car is 3/4 of a second behind, and the 20th place car is 2.3 seconds back.
You know, I have to say, these guys are doing a great job, and everybody's holding on to it. But I have to think the guy that I think has the best shot at this one is currently sitting a lap down in 36th place. I still think Gerald Poole can get if he gets another caution, gets back to the lead lap. That car is in good shape, and I've seen Thanos draft. I know what he can do. I don't think this race is over yet for that car.
You've got 7 cars all under a blanket. Cryer nearly forced Turpin down low, but look at that. You've got 4 EHP cars lined up together. English, Edwards, Cryer, and Sylvia up there on the middle side. Now, if they get up to the front, like we're seeing the top 3 right now, all EHP cars, they just work together single file. Is this what we're about to see?
I think so. I think it would take a team much bigger than EHP to get around those 4 cars as they pull away. I just don't see. It would take JNS, the entire JNS conglomerate, to get together, hook up, and push their way to the front to get past this, because that 4-car EHP draft, you know those guys communicate well, they race well, they've got a great leader in Austin Edwards, and yeah, they have got it figured out here.
Something we should think about as well, everyone pitted on lap 31 or 32, depending on where you were on track. What are you thinking if you're Sean English? Because if EHP stays where they are, they're likely going to have English out in front if we stay green for the rest of this run. He may be one that has to pit earlier first.
I don't think, well, and here we go. I don't think we're going to see that. I think the team's going to work to get Austin Edwards up
Look
there.
at this.
They
Look
are
at this.
4
What
wide.
a Kodak moment amongst the EHP teammates. Oh my goodness. Austin Edwards, that's going to be his new Windows background by the end of the night.
Oh, guaranteed. This is reminiscent of Ford at Le Mans. They bring it down. Who's going to lead from EHP? You know,
I think Sylvia.
I have to say, I think this move might have been planned.
It was, as Sylvia goes to the point. That's the 13th different leader in this race. They are still 4 wide. What are you thinking if you're Matt Bear in 9th position? You're thinking, hey, I got a chance to close in on this battle.
I think everybody behind probably is looking at that thinking, well, the only way to get through is go 5 wide, and this is not the time to do it right now. I think the EHP team had a strategy here to get all the drivers. If they got in this position, holy cow, Austin.
That got close. He nearly got its teammate, folks.
I think they had a strategy to make sure every one of their team, if they could get everybody to the front, they were going to get everybody 5 bonus points here tonight. And look at this. They drift back. Everybody's drifting back. So Austin leads. No, Jake led that one.
Folks, this is just the trailer. The feature presentation is just about 120 or 30 laps away from happening. Now this will get interesting. They catch up to lap traffic. Nicholas Seams in the 960. This will be a battle for TJ DeBlasi in the 78 in just a moment. Seams lets the leaders go by.
Okay, so we've seen 3 of those 4 Edwards setup shop car or Edwards high performance cars lead a lap. Now Austin, the only one that has not led a lap. I think we see the other 3 maybe just crack the throttle enough, and Austin Edwards will pull ahead. Look at that. The strategy is playing out, and Austin Edwards, once they cross the line, all 4 EHP cars will have led a lap. There it is.
That is the 30th lead change of this race in 50 laps, folks. In 60% of this race so far, we have seen a new leader in every lap.
That is just crazy. Now the question becomes, they have done it. They have gotten all their team to lead a lap. They've all got bonus points. Now, how do they get back single file? Because that one's going to be exceedingly tricky.
Oh, I thought for a moment Cryer was going to slide job into Jake Sylvia. That got close. Well, I mean, if I'm thinking, because this track right now seems to be everyone doesn't want to go extremely up to the safer barrier. They just want to go 3 lanes at the moment. I'm thinking just block those 3 lanes. I don't care for right now because nobody will have anywhere to go, and oh my goodness. This is like a traffic jam on the I-90.
This is the funniest thing. If anybody has seen this maneuver ever pulled off before, please drop in the comments. We want to know about it because I have been broadcasting for over 2 years now, and I have never seen a team do this move. I've seen it attempted. I've never seen it done successfully. EHP is pulling back into line together. They've got something figured out here.
Folks, these are professionals driving on a closed course. Slide job shot. English.
What in the world? They were not lining up.
Do not try this at home, folks, in real life. You can try it in iRacing all you want, but these are professionals. Do not try this at home as Cryer leads in the line. Now, he led earlier before the first caution, I believe, no?
Yes, he did. He got 1 lap led earlier, so I don't even know what to say. This one is a bit wild. EHP up front putting on a show here.
Absolutely incredible to see at the moment amongst the drivers. You got Pelletier pushing the blue 48 of Kender Cryer, and then you've got Robert Colgan up there in the 94, highest he's been today, pushing the 25 of Sylvia. Blake Wynn, Luke Turpin stuck with nowhere to go. Now watch Pelletier closely. If he gets past Sylvia and English and clears them, what do you think he does? Does he immediately go up to the outside?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what you would do in this situation. They've made it impossible to pass without some sort of crazy move. If you got up front, then what do you do? Because then the EHP cars, they just line up and go past you again and do the same maneuver.
You think so? Yeah, go ahead.
I just, man, if I got past them, I wouldn't know what to do. You're not going to get any help from them, that's for sure. So you're going to have to make a crazy move to get to the front or sit back and ride. And, you know, they open up a little hole every now and then, but nobody goes through it.
So you're saying somebody may take it 5 wide?
That's the only thing. The only other way you could do it is get a group of cars lined up and just force one of these guys out in front to force an opening. But even still, that's going to be tricky and risky like what we're seeing right now.
I think the only way to go 5 wide is if you go all the way up to the outside of the corners. It likely won't work on the straightaways. But these guys are starting to get dicey and dicey and dicey. 3 wide amongst the front 3. Pelletier is trapped with nowhere to go at the moment. Sylvia's got a nice air push coming from PDJ Zeller. Once again, the EHP drivers are 4 wide.
You know, and the other thing that I'm sitting here thinking of is, it's a shame we don't have Whale PD this week, because can you imagine what is being said on the radio right now? These guys, everybody back behind EHP is cussing up a storm, right? And there's still a couple of EHP cars further back in the field.
I know.
If they get up here, what else could happen?
5 wide, maybe? I don't know.
Did they practice? This move has obviously been practiced. This is this is not
like
something you do on a whim. So, did they practice 5 wide?
possibly, but this is like the greatest thing I've ever seen in all of iRacing since I've started broadcasting last year.
Austin
this is amazing.
Edwards is a genius. I will give him that. This is the smartest move they could have done. I've heard teams talk about doing something like this in the past, but like I said, it has never been successfully executed.
Oh man, this is getting insane.
Petey is...
Zeller pushing English.
Holy cow.
Pelletier pushing Cryer. Colgan pushing Sylvia, and then there's Austin Edwards, but it's Austin Edwards. He can do anything by himself.
Yeah, you know, Luke Turpin pulling up behind him, but I think the way to get past these guys is instead of having, as long as you've got a car behind every one of the lead cars, every one of them's getting a little bit of a push. Oh, they might have done it now. Petey may have done it.
He forced his way up the middle. 3 wide. By the way, if you look from the XCAL Racing blimp shot, while these guys are all 3 and 4 wide, look at what's happening with guys like, if I go with like Don Jordan, for example, many of these drivers are just thinking we're going single file or wreck's about to happen.
Yep, in the back half of the field from the blimp, you see them just settling in. They have heard on their team radios what's going on up front and decided there is not a lot of point in being up here trying to be just pushing an issue that you're not going to be able to get around.
To the lead, PDJ Zeller with a big push from Jake Sylvia. I have officially, by the way...
Oh, Jake just drops to the bottom. EXP just reconnected.
I've officially lost count of how many lead changes we've had in this race. It's got to be like about 35 or something.
And all
especially during that 5 wide situation.
All the EHP drivers have led a lap. Well, the top 4 running have led a lap here now. A few of them out of the race, a few of them further back in the pack, but that lead group, and what in the world did Jake Sylvia just slid up the track?
Just came in way too hot. Sean English going to the race lead. Kendrick, so once again, it is Robert Colgan sneaking his way through the middle looking for second spot. Look at the push he's got coming from Kyle Bartles in the Memorial Day colors. Oh, Pelletier, hang on, nearly toward the 88.
Yeah, Pelletier just started drifting up and up and up. You've heard of side drafting, but it doesn't work if you bang doors. And can Colgan lead at the line? He does.
Oh, he does? Oh, my goodness, he does. That is the 15th different leader in this race. We are 59 laps complete here at Michigan International Speedway. Kendrick Cryer, Sean English, Robert Colgan, Matt Pelletier, Kyle Bartles, the top 5. If trouble breaks out, we'll break in. Stay with us for Michigan.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
Welcome you back to Michigan International Speedway, and once again, you are looking at live pictures of the EHP 4Y traffic jam at Michigan International Speedway. Have a good look from the XCAL Racing blimp. This is unbelievable what we are seeing. They're just preventing any of their drivers from making passes. I've lost count of the lead changes at this moment. We're somewhere around the range of, I think, 40.
Yeah, we have definitely eclipsed 40, but the roadblock is broken up a little bit here, but they're going to reform here in a moment if Pelletier can't get through, and it doesn't look like he can. So here they come back together, and Austin Edwards, as you and I were talking about, just a genius coming up with this strategy, but the real trick was getting everybody to practice it. You see from the blimp how close they are, how good a job they're doing of not opening any holes, and if one of them drops back, you can tell the other three just crack the throttle, make sure they stay even, and then go back to full throttle.
At the line, I want to say it was Sean English, and it was, as he makes another lead change happen. The Edwards guys have maybe lost track of stats early on, so we think we're at the range of 45 now or so, I don't know. But we know we've got 15 different leaders in this race at the moment.
And look at this. Matt Pelletier is obviously getting very frustrated.
Kyle Bardos was getting loose there down the back straightaway. He's getting frustrated too. I think Blake Wynn knows the same thing. Let's see who else. Daniel Miller is seeing this, I think, for the first time. He's thinking, what in the world are we going to do here?
You know what I am seeing? And I think this just happened during the last lap. As we go away from the blimp, I think what we're seeing is that bottom line is starting to build. I think there's communication between the teams to try and unite and fight their way up toward the front. A lot of guys dropped very easily into the bottom line. No fight whatsoever. Looked like Turpin actually let out of the throttle.
Take a look once again from our aerial shot. I'm seeing a couple of different shapes. I'll go kid-friendly. I see a spoon. Aaron Hellebush is watching this after we're live. He knows what he can see from the aerial shot.
Yeah. As they came out of turn 4, it was kind of obvious that how do I put this? That the Edwards roadblock was the base of something taller.
Absolutely. Austin Edwards goes to the point. Jake Sylvia led lap line. Oh, my Colgan to the inside. Now, what do you do here if you're Austin Edwards? Robert Colgan he may be turning into the master plan behind to getting the race lead back from Edwards' high performance. Let's see what happens. Cryer gives a bump draft to Austin Edwards entering turn number 3. Can he clear? He can. Colgan with no help, unfortunately, but that was all guts there from the 94. That's for sure.
You know, that hole just kind of opened up right before Colgan. They're going single file again. Looks like they're going into fuel saving mode here as two of the drivers get lined up. The EHP team has decided the roadblock comes to an end. They're going to try and get single file again and just pull a little bit of fuel saving, deciding who can be there. But I honestly think Austin Edwards...
I don't know if this roadblock is over just yet.
Oh
Doug,
my
I'm
God.
sorry. Look at this. They're 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think Austin was just toying with him, opening up a hole there. I think they're just playing. I think EHP is literally just playing with all the drivers behind him.
Look at this. English goes for the slider. Edwards doesn't go down to the bottom. This is risky, though, because you got Matt Pelletier. Ooh, Edwards nearly went for... Oh, man, Pelletier's could have an opening right here.
Pelletier was definitely not being friendly about the fact that he wants back to the lead. But when you've got a well-oiled machine like EHP up front, I guarantee you Daniel Sargent, the J&S team, they're taking notes because they're the only other team that is big enough to pull off something like this.
They're going to want to get ready for our next super speedway race at Texas, or excuse me, not Texas. I think it's Auto Club. What's coming up on the schedule in a matter of moments is Edwards goes to the point. While we are at it, we are 69 laps complete. Let's give you a full field run. It will be tough to break down every driver so far So with the pack, we're just going to go in order from 1 through 20. Austin Edwards currently has the race lead over Sean English. Robert Colgan, the first non-EHP driver, in 3rd position. Jake Sylvia 4th. Kendrick Cryer 5th. Matt Pelletier, who has been part of leading the most laps today, is in 6th. Just got passed by Daniel Miller for that spot. Blake Wynn is 8th. Brett Edgar 9th. Stephen Wetton currently runs in 10th. Kyle Bartles is 11th. Matt Bear 12th. Luke Turpin now 12th. Matt Bear 13th. PDJ Zeller 14th. Stephen Rex 15th. Jose Gaudino 16th. Mason Foster 17th. Don Jordan 18th. Ronnie German 19th. And in 20th, Alex Krapser, Doug.
Yeah, this is really interesting the way this is unfolding right now. Krapser in 20th. Sean Patrick in 21st. And this second pack, all single file, with John Friley in 22nd, Albie Hewins 23rd. Ryan Seams currently running in 24th. He was up front earlier. Zach Edwards 25th. Jeff Edgar's 26th. Both of those guys have led a lap, if I'm not mistaken. John Brancaccio 27th. Brad Ebel 28th. Jeremy Leto back in 29th. And Greg Holes in 30th. Sean Andrews in 31st. TJ DeBlasi, who led a lot earlier, is back in 32nd. Joe Campbell 33rd. Gerald Thanos Poole 34th. Art Hendren currently in 35th. Nicholas Seams in 36th with a looks like down on power. Same with Jim Johnson in 37th. Actually looks like Jim is rolling off pit road. Tim Pruitt, who led a lot earlier, up in 38th. Derek Colson mixed in with the leaders in 39th. Edmund Jones back out there in 40th. Jonathan Schwartz, Jonathan Bergeron out of the race.
And with that opportunity, we'd like to take this opportunity to welcome a brand new sponsor into the broadcast booth. From Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists is Joe Poole. Joe, welcome on into the broadcast booth, man. How are you enjoying this race so far in Michigan? Joe Poole, you got a copy? All right, we'll try him once again in just a couple of moments. And while we're at it, we can take this opportunity to let you know that the XCAL Racing web shop is the place to go to buy all of your 2022 XCAL Racing merchandise. Newest products include the Jones BS Racing Team men's t-shirt, an XCAL embroidered bear bib, and the 2022 All-Star Event t-shirt. So you can make sure you check that out there. Also, Sim Racer Hub is the exclusive points calculator of XCAL Racing for all things expanded stats and standings. You can go to simracerhub.com and just search XCAL for more details. Flaming Karma Paint Shop is the official replay of XCAL Racing and also the official paint shop of XCAL Racing. If you want custom paints, make sure you go hit up Thanos Pool on Facebook. Just search up Flaming Karma Paint Shop. And finally, if you are interested in becoming an XCAL superfan, make sure you become an XCAL Racing Patreon. Get exclusive access to the XCAL Racing Discord and a whole lot more. You can check that out by going to xcalracing.com/2022. Scroll all the way down to where it says become a Patreon. You must be 18 or older to view their content.
Hey, you know, I just realized something. Now they have created a box.
They have.
EXP is just toying with people right now. They knew how to work their way to the front. They were patient. They stayed out of the big one for the most part. And now all these drivers are just boxing everybody in. Although they are about to box in Pelletier a little too much.
That got close. That got close. While we were at it, let's check and see if we got another copy from Joe Poole. Joe, do you copy? Joe Poole, one more time. Nope, I don't think we have him.
This is crazy up front. And look at they're going back to 4 wide.
Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. By the way, the drivers are 15 laps away from pitting, so we'll probably see in about 10 to 15 laps or so the drivers, the 4 wide situation ending, and then they'll all come in. And if we do get to the first round of green flag pit stops and it gets through all under the green flag, we're going to expect probably a lot of single file racing. That's what we've seen in the trends of the past few super speedway races.
Yeah, they definitely they come in groups, they come out in groups, and it'll be interesting to see which groups work together. Obviously, the EHP guys are going to work together. JNS is going to work together, but it'll be interesting to see if we have any inter-team cooperation going on here tonight. And as they change places, I think at this point these guys are swapping positions just to see if they can make save a little bit of fuel here.
If I were to guess, we've got probably between 55 to 60 lead changes. By the way, one of their EHP cars is not here tonight. That, of course, is the number 54. Chris Johnson was the previous driver of that. That car number is under a 3-race suspension. Sean English looking to put that car back up to the front once again.
But look who has snuck his way back up into this. The guy that broke it up the first time, Petey to the high side.
Oh, boy. Hello, Will Petey to the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. But he's got no help, though. We'll see if that 262 of Daniel Miller wants to go up there, or if Sylvia's going to shut the door. But this opens up an opportunity for Matt Pelletier. Zeller nearly turned Sylvia down the back straightaway. This is outstanding, folks.
Yeah, I am not surprised. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen more rough driving since this 4-wide situation happened, because these guys obviously getting frustrated. EHP going single file again.
See what happens there. Remember, we are just about 12 laps away from green flag pit stops. Gentlemen, if you can make it that far, that would just be amazing. And that's what everyone would love to see. The drivers love green flag pit stops, of course, so we expect that once again. Now look at Matt Pelletier. Oh, Cryer just shuts the door on his teammate. But watch Pelletier closely. Let's see if Colgan decides to go with him and make the big push down to the inside, but nothing's working on the exit, Doug.
No, these guys just have to find a way. They have to find an opening, and the rest of the field is going to have to work together to figure out how to get around. But Pelletier is sticking the nose really low and getting the door shut on him. Every time they shut the door on one driver, they open the door on another driver. It's going to come down to a timing. Petey! Holy cow, Petey!
Oh, just moves Kendrick Cryer out of the way as Sean English goes to the race lead. But this could open up the door for Pelletier. However, though, English breaks the draft off of Pelletier with the slider, but Pelletier is up underneath the 18 for the race lead, and once again, the exit does not work off turn 2 on the bottom, but look at Petey go. Big push to Austin Edwards. I wouldn't be surprised if Pelletier decided to work with Zeller here.
Yeah, I would see those two getting together. It's going to take some of these guys that have been in XCAL for a while, like PDJ Zeller, like Luke Turpin, like Blake Wynn, like Robert Colgan, Daniel Miller, those guys. Holy cow.
He nearly turned around Kendrick.
They're going to have to form up a group. They're going to have to form up as a team.
Here we go. Here we go. Nothing.
Oh!
Big short shot from Kendrick Cryer. So go ahead, you were saying, Doug?
It's going to take some of these XCAL veterans really working together to make their way to the front and get past these guys. And when a door opens like this, they've got to find a way to capitalize on it. They just haven't been able to. Petey is, he's trying to shove the team apart. He's trying to break him up with the body.
Look at that. He just bullied Jake Sylvia out of the way. Just threw the elbow at him. Now, is he thinking, come on, Matt, do the same thing. Do it. Oh, almost forces the 17 below the white line on the track, the out-of-bounds line.
I think Petey is just annoyed as all get out. I was trying to think of a nice way to say that. I think Petey is just fed up with this, and he wants to get back up there. He said he was going to lead a lap. He said he had a good shot at a win tonight. I think Petey's getting really frustrated that he has this much speed, this much momentum, and just can't get up there and show what he's got.
This is a 17-car lead pack at the moment. There's a second pack behind being led by Don Jordan. Him alongside Ronnie German and Alex Crapster and company are riding single file. Then a pack that's led by Brad Ebel and Jeff Edgar, Jeremy Leto with a couple of lapped cars in between in all of this situation as they try to race for the lucky dog position.
Hey, just looking at the lap cars, if we get another caution, this group of lap cars hiding out here at the back, the front three will get a wave around. That front three has two experts at drafting, Joe Campbell, Gerald Poole, and Greg Holes, who has already led tonight. So, yeah, they definitely do not want to cause a caution because that's going to bring those three gentlemen to the front.
Under 10 laps away from seeing green flag pit stops or so, 60 to 65 laps in the range. John Brancaccio, when we talked with him earlier on in the week during practice last weekend, he said he could go about 62 laps or so.
It's going to come down to how much you just sat in the draft. You don't force issues. You just play it safe. You save fuel. As we mentioned, the one guy that we're used to seeing save a ton of fuel, Luke Turpin, this is the kind of track he's not good at saving fuel at. So it'll be interesting to see under green flag conditions what his fuel strategy is here. He has been riding. He has not been fighting his way, but he is also...
Trouble off turn 4. Sean Andrews spins his way into pit road. I think he was trying to come in, caught the grass, and just lost control of it.
Here he comes. No, he gets loose on the track. He tried to turn. It looked like he just tried to turn down too soon. Ended up in the grass, and it sends him around. He does manage to get that car corrected and going, but a bit of a heartbreak for Sean as we are starting to see green flag stops. Colgan is in. Bartles is in. Sean Andrews is in.
I don't know what you're thinking if you're Colgan or Bartles. Only two guys will not make the cut. You want more drivers, obviously, in a draft, especially here at Michigan.
I think I know what's about to play out here. I think these guys are hitting pit road. They're going to come around and they're going to come out and be able to be, they're going to get caught by this lead pack. They're going to be fighting to stay on the lead pack or on the lead lap, but they have the best shot at breaking up this EHP roadblock.
It would be impressive if they can. Again, 1, 2, 3, 5 at the moment. I guess Daniel Miller's also part of that too, I think, running in the 6th position. And that's all I see amongst this lead pack of VHP drivers.
And I know Danielle is watching. She always is, so I have to ask Danielle, are you making plans for the next one? And could we see the JNS team pull this same maneuver, but 8 cars, 4 wide, 2 deep? That would be something to behold.
Auto Club coming up on the schedule, a track a lot similar to Michigan. So I think guys are getting ready. Here's Jake Sylvia down to the inside, a slingshot off of Austin Edwards. I think Edwards said, dude, go, 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 get to the inside.
Yeah, it looks like the EHP guys are bringing an end to the roadblock and trying to get formed up for pit stops. They know it's coming. They're going to have to figure something out to get the whole group together. They've worked on this strategy, so do we see how good is that pit road strategy for this team?
John Friley, Brad Ebel now in the pits. They're trying to get Sean English down to the bottom of the racetrack because obviously that's where you want to be to pit. Same with Austin Edwards. They're not in a good situation right now. Pelletier's got them trapped underneath, but of course, we're about probably like maybe 5 laps away or so from seeing this pack come down to the pits.
Yeah, this is definitely going to play out very interesting. And Danielle did say she is watching closely and making notes. I am looking forward to seeing the JNS team try and counter this. It's like we mentioned, it's the only team big enough that could counter the EHP move. I don't think there's any other team out there that has 4 or more cars.
Taking a look here in the JNS 3 chat, Danielle's not in there, but has a feeling she's watching Joe Campbell very closely as Jake Sylvia takes to the point. We actually just had the fastest lap of the race set by actually the 69 of Ronnie German, 48.33, and it's up there in the 6th position.
Yeah, that draft, and Rodney was outside the top 10 on the last lap. He just found the perfect run and was able to capitalize on it. He has gotten all the way up into the EHP mix. Pelletier has an opening, but no help.
I think they want to let him go so they can get all the EHP cars down on the bottom, but him an English touch off of turn number 4.
I don't know that they're
Fryer
letting
gets to the
anybody
bottom.
go.
and it was Pelletier at the line. They just gave Matt a big break for sure. How long has it been since we've seen the 27 last time out front?
Gosh, it's been at least 30, 40 laps, and the thing is, he's been in the top 10 all night long. Even under caution on pit stops, he was top 10 the whole time. He's just been unable to get back to the front once the EHP guys activated roadblock.
Remember, this is the winner last week in the All-Star race who hooked up his butt kicker just a couple of moments ago before we took the green flag, and he's definitely feeling the extra boost he needs.
Definitely so, and wow.
The roadblock again.
I just had a crazy thought. There is the old in Talladega Nights, the slingshot engaged. What do you think the odds are that these EHP boys are sitting there going, roadblock engaged?
That could be, actually. It's a good point.
Pelletier is backing off. He didn't try and make a run when the opening was there. This is the opportunity EHP needs to get grouped back up single file and ready for pit stops. As cars come out of their pit stops, up on the high side, are we going to see some of these guys that have already been to pit road interfere with the roadblock?
That's a good question. We'll see as they work by Brad Ebel, who is already pitted. We have only seen so far 3 or 4 drivers. We got 2 more coming in this time. Jeff Edgar and Jeremy Leto enter pit road. That's a combination I never thought I would have heard of together.
Well, and another thing, there was a lot of drama with Jeremy Leto last week after the race, and I know a lot of the other drivers were really, really annoyed. Oh my goodness!
Double Kendrick Cryer goes around the EHP packs. It's gone. Cryer in the inside wall. No caution. We stay green, but that is not good at all. That was just as we go to the Flaming Karma Paint Shop replay here, Doug. That was just Ronnie German just swerving around like he had road rage or something.
I can't imagine why he would have had road rage. Looks like he tried to shoot to the bottom there. And, he was given a massive push. They got loose and just comes down. Couldn't find a way. Kendrick does a great job, just kisses the inside wall and gets going again.
So now we see this lead pack split up just a little bit with a 4-car breakaway. How about the guy in 3rd position? We haven't talked about Jose Gaudino yet. If he's in it, he can have a chance to win it.
Yeah, I made the comment very early on when Jose was about 3 seconds back. I said if he ever decides he wants to run to the front, it's not hard to do with this pack being the way it is, with the draft being the way it is. In these cars, you could draft to the front in a couple of laps. He apparently took that as challenge accepted and made his way up.
This is a guy that rarely finishes near the front. However, at Texas last year, the 2nd Texas race of the year, he finished in 2nd spot thanks to pit strategy at the end of the race. It was awesome to see. Nearly had a chance to win it, but lost out to Josh Doobie. Now he's stuck in the middle, 3 wide for 3rd.
Yeah, and you got to think he's got to be happy up here, but he knows he's got a long, long way to go. Great move by him getting to the front now. He's just got to hang on to it, but pit stop's about to start. I have to think he drafted to the front at this point in the race for a reason, and he's got somebody he's planning on working with.
Here comes Ronnie German around the outside, looking to become what would be the 16th different leader of this race, but it's going to take some help to do it.
Yeah, and he has got none. Jose Gaudino should hop up there and give him a hand. And, he looked like he was going to for a moment there. No help, though, for Rodney. He's still stuck up on top. And, hey, look who just turned the fastest lap of the race. Superman is kicking in high gear. Holy cow, Luke.
48.31, and he nearly doors Brett Edgar. Here comes Gaudino up the middle. Austin Edwards should lead here at the stripe, and Gaudino is 2nd. What a run for the number 20.
Well, this has definitely been a crazy night so far. We're just about to hit the halfway point, and 16 different leaders at this point, possibly going to be 17 here in a moment.
Gotta step aside as you watch the battle for the race lead. Pit stops coming up. Gaudino, now the leader here at Michigan.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shapes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
Just about to hit the triple digits. Lap number 100. A lot of the field in pit road. Steven Rex brings Jose Gaudino, Alex Krapser, and Zach Edwards into the pits. 4 drivers on the lead lap have yet to stop. Luke Turpin, Matt Bear, Blake Wynn, and Brett Edgar. You've got 2 versus 2 when it comes to the teams. You've got Matt Bear's team going up against Jeff Edgar's team. But anyway, we have got 18 different leaders in this race.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting. 3 more leaders, and guess what? That'll be half the field having led tonight. That's kind of crazy. And Matt Oven Mitts Hayden just dropped in and said thought he was watching Talladega with the 3 and 4 wide racing. Buddy, you missed out on 6 wide earlier. Luke Turpin and Matt Bear are coming in. They're going to bring Brett Edgar. Oh, man.
Big lockup from Luke Turpin. Got to make sure he hits the pit road speed of 55 miles an hour. Will be interesting to see who cycles through when we get pit stops figured out. First guy, I would assume it'd be either Brad Ebel, Kyle Bartels, or Robert Colgan, but we'll see how the field cycles through.
Right
it could
now,
perhaps
it looks
be
like
the
Brad
EHP
Ebel.
drivers. And he did a pit stop that was 1 minute quicker than everyone else, so he had to have taken less fuel.
Yeah, but he's going to get 5 bonus points and make it 19 liters now. That's definitely going to be a bit interesting. Who knows? It depends on where everybody is pitted at as well as he comes out of turn 4, but he has no drafting help whatsoever. And
oh, hang on a second. Brett Edgar with an issue. Brett Edgar with an issue. He has run out of fuel and cannot make it to the pits. Oh, what a heartbreak for the pole sitter.
hopefully he'll
And
be able to make a comeback.
And that is a walking speed of only 2 miles an hour. That is a long, if you look on board, that's a long way. And he's out. He's out of fuel. That car's got to get towed. Brett Edgar is out of the running.
What a heartbreak for him. He is actually now towed to pit road, and his race may be over. It would take
It probably has.
Yeah, it'd take a miracle caution right about now to save Brett Edgar. And so close to pit road into his pit stall as well.
So we've got Brad Ebel just took the race lead away, not getting credited for leading that lap, but will be credited next time as being the 19th different leader of this race. Now, what he did, he took less fuel. What he is banking on is a caution flag to come out somewhere about halfway through the stint, because he'll expect all of the drivers to come in around lap number 130 if a yellow flag comes out in that range. If not, that's a big bust for Brad Ebel. So he is already putting all his chips into the pot.
Yeah, definitely rolling the dice on this one, and that's a bold strategy, but we'll have... I don't know if that one's going to pay off or not. We've seen these races in Michigan have the early cautions, but then go green for a long, long time. And we've only seen a couple of cautions so far tonight.
We saw pit stops ranging from 2 minutes to 2 minutes and 20 seconds just about amongst the leaders. The Luke Turpin Matt Bear pair came out with 2:05 on average for their pit stop time. That's a great stop there. I think they took less fuel than everyone else. They didn't fill the tank up completely. I think that's a good strategy to come out in 5th and 6th at the moment. So it's Brad Ebel that currently leads by 21 seconds on Jose Gaudino. And then 15 seconds back, you've got the first battle between Kyle Bartels and Robert Colgan. So some interesting single file racing here. Once again, we talked about coming on in, this is a race of endurance.
Yeah, it really is. But fuel strategy is big in this event. Brad Ebel, though, might have made a genius move. If the caution comes out, there will only be 6 cars on the lead lap. 3 cars get waved around, but you'll have less than 10 cars on the lead lap. That might have been a very smart move. If that caution comes out, Brad Ebel just outsmarted everybody.
Don Jordan probably thinking, oh my goodness, come on, come on, come on. So we've got Bartels and Colgan working together. You got Kendrick Cryer behind. For those wondering, after his spin, Cryer has relegated down to 29th position. And then our biggest pack is right here, led by Sean English. This is a pack of about, I want to say 12 cars, and he got Don Jordan 4 seconds behind Matt Pelletier. So this will be interesting to see the closing rate. Last time by for Sean English, here's how it is in the draft. 48.95, Brad Ebel, 49.62.
Yeah, they're going to gain at least a second a lap, maybe more, especially if this group gets single file. Right now, they're not very cohesive, but the more cohesive they get, the faster they're going to be. But I don't know how much cooperation Sean English is going to help get from after the EHP roadblock earlier.
Here's the thing, though. Kyle Bartels and Robert Colgan are running similar times. In fact, last time by, they were faster than the lead pack. Again, they got Kendrick Cryer and the 39 of Jim Johnson behind them. So with Bartels and Colgan, they will be able to be quicker than Brad Ebel and try and close in the rate. It's a 20-second gap from first all the way back to third, 14 seconds behind the second place car and Jose Gaudino. Ebel had a 1-minute stop last time by. Gaudino, 1 minute 38. Bartels and Colgan, 1 minute 48, 151. So they are also playing strategy. So the top 4 drivers, I want to say, if not maybe top 6, are playing field strategy early at the moment to see if a caution could come out at a certain time.
Yeah, and if the strategy works, they are in really good shape. If it doesn't, they still have time to recover from it, but they're going to have to really play this strategy out. But when you're talking about this pair of Luke Turpin and Matt Baer, Luke Turpin is the king of fuel saving. Not usually at these tracks, but obviously him and Matt Baer this time made it work. They stretched quite a bit longer than most, so I think they might actually be okay.
This top 4, I'm going to tell you something. This top 4 is a top 4 that is completely unexpected when it comes to like regular short tracks. Brad Ebel, Jose Gaudino, Robert Colgan, Kyle Bartels. Can you believe that?
That is a bit crazy. We've seen Bartels get up there a lot more here lately. Colgan has a couple of good runs, but none of them are consistently up at the front of these battles at these short tracks. But you come here to the super speedway, a little fuel strategy, a little bit of luck, and a whole lot of drafting, and you know what? Here you are in the top 5, hoping that caution comes in. With all the different mixes, with all the different strategies, and with the difference in speed, anything is possible here.
You've got English, German, and Rex working together, then followed by Pelletier, Wetton, and Miller that are going 3Y, which I don't think they really want to be doing that right now, considering how much those 3 other drivers have pulled away by just about 0.4 of a second or so last lap. So I think if you're a guy like Matt Pelletier, you're probably screaming in the radio, guys, come on, let's break this up. Come on, let's get down to single file. Austin Ayers is probably thinking the same thing too, because he's lost all of his teammates, except for the 262 of Miller.
Yeah, the field successfully with pit strategy broke up that EHP team, but I have to wonder how long it'll take with these bigger packs. If they get them single file, they can definitely get back together again. It's just going to be a matter of time and patience, and how patient these guys can be is the question.
I tell you what, I want to do something fun here at the moment. Obviously, Brad Ebel still leading for right now. However, though, I want to play a guessing game with all the fans watching at home, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. How many lead changes do you think we will see in the race? We have seen at least 55 or 60 or so, probably more. Let us know what your guess is going to be in the chat, and we will give the shout-out the closest without going over. We got to do it Price is Right style. We got to do it the right way. We'll figure out what to do for the winner. Obviously, it's bragging rights or a shout-out. We may do something for fun, though.
Yeah, and you know what? Throw in there, too, as a second guess, we've seen 19 leaders so far. So how many leaders do you think we'll have? Remember, 42 drivers started this race, so we're almost halfway to it. Will we see half the field lead here tonight, or are we done seeing different leaders and it's going to come down to the same group at the end of this one?
Blake Wynn just got swallowed up by Sean English, Ronnie German, and Steven Rocks. English now in the 7th position with a big push from the 69. They are 11 seconds behind the driver next on the lead lap. That is Matt Baer. Compared to the laps, this single file train is currently about 0.07 of a second faster. Fastest pack right now, of course, is Daniel Miller's pack at a 49. Actually, not these guys. They're on a 49.51. Fastest right now at the moment, Robert Colgan and Kyle Bartels with 48.67s. They are 3rd and 4th, and they've got a line figured out. They have just added in guys like John Friley, Jeff Edgar, Jeremy Letto, and company, all of whom are a lap down or more. Trying to work with these guys and move their way towards the front. They are currently 11 seconds behind Jose Gaudino, now 18 seconds behind the race leader.
Holy crap. Okay, first off, Brad Ebel has just got his first fan cheer tonight, so shout out to Mr. Ben cheering on Brad Ebel, having an awesome race here. Also, just sitting here thinking about this, the next pack is 18 seconds back. He came out of pit road on lap 86. I don't remember what lap he took the lead here, but Brad Ebel could end up, by this strategy, getting 5 bonus points by leading the most laps because everybody else has been 2, 3, 5, maybe 10. Brad Ebel's been out there leading for, what, 15, 20 laps now?
Lap 101 was the lap that he last pitted, that he took the lead on. The 56 coming on into the owner standings, 43rd with 703 points. Their next car ahead is the 66, not entered, so they'll definitely gain points for sure on that. Then you've got the 69 ahead of them with 803 points. That could get interesting. They'll get ahead of the 54 because that's on a 3-race suspension. The 39, James Johnson, that could get interesting as well, perhaps. Maybe even the 60 or the 31. 31 is not entered in this race, by the way, for those wondering.
So, yeah, Brad Ebel, definitely a good strategy for a great points night, regardless of how he finishes. He's played this out perfectly, but he's on the apron. He's on pit road.
Yep, Brad Ebel's strategy is backfired.
And it looks like Godino will take the lead again, and Danielle Sargent just killed. She's guessing 175 lead changes, 28 different leaders. And with this pit strategy starting to fall apart for some of these drivers, you know, she may be right. They may reform this pack, the big pack, before this is... before too much longer, and then things are going to get really interesting.
So now what we're looking at for Brad Ebel, I think right now if he's got a chance to stay alive, he is hoping this race goes green to the end. So he pits on lap number 112. He's going to try and go a full fuel run to go up until lap 170, at which at that point he can take half fuel to go the distance. But of course, this is pack racing, this is Michigan. Going to be very tough.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting night for some of these drivers, and I have to wonder about some of these different strategies playing out. You know, we see Luke Turpin and Matt Bear out there. They have obviously switched places. We saw after pit stops Luke Turpin leading those two. Now Matt Bear is, so they're playing out fuel strategy here. But they can only play it out so long. They last stopped on lap 100, so they can go for a while, but we know they did not take a full fuel load, so it's going to be interesting.
Jose Godino with a 49.01 last lap. He's got a good friend with him behind him in the 55. That's being driven by Albert Hewins. He's the first car a lap down, but I think for Hewins, he does not care about that at the moment because he could get a wave around. So looking at this right now at the moment, last time by Godino, a 49.01. Kogan and Bartles were in a big pack with Cryer, Hendren and company. 49.22 last time by. Matt Bear and Luke Turpin, 49 flats. Fastest cars on the track last time by was Austin Edwards' pack at a 48.81, and these guys are still wanting to race.
Yeah, this is far, far from over. Edmund Jones just announced he is officially out of the race after that early incident. After the big one, he tried to stick it out as long as he could, but that car just had no speed in the draft. Daniel Miller has had an incident where he slid off track. Let's see what happened here. He was in the middle of that pack, and he just... looks like there was a little
15.
bit of door banging.
Yeah, there was a bump draft from Zach Edwards to Stephen Wetton to Daniel Miller. Now, could that, though, be considered a force below?
Oh, most definitely. You could see that car just got turned. He didn't necessarily point it down there. He just recovered from where his car was forcefully pointed.
Give me a second. I'll bring out the XCAL Racing rulebook here.
Jose Godino now having the lead. Where is...
So now here is the rule. Drivers who are forced below the white line will not receive penalty if you make forceful contact that sends a car below the white line, as defined in rules D 12.3.5.4, which we'll get to in a moment. You must surrender the bottom lane and move up the racetrack as soon as it is safe to do so. No accidents happen there. Forcing a driver below the line occurs when a car in the second lane from the bottom makes contact with a car running the bottom lane, knocking it below the line. If a driver is running below the bottom line and someone attempts to pass them on the apron or in the same lane, contact between cars is not a force. It is a bleep hat trying to pass where we do not allow it. Aaron Hillebush, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and that's Aaron Hillebush being kind. This pack led by Robert Colgan, I'm seeing a lot of, I'm surprised to see too, a lot of battling there. Kyle Bartle staying with him. You know, some of these guys really just battling it out. And now that Brad Ebel has gone in for his pit stop, that puts like 29 cars back on the lead lap. So Brad Ebel back to 33rd currently and all by himself. But a big pack is coming. He'll get hooked back up.
These guys were actually a 10th slower last lap to Jose Gaudino, so Gaudino's lead still stands at 12 seconds. Fastest car on track last time by Blake Wynn, just at a PB at a 48.47. And again, he's working with Sean English, Rodney German, Blake Wynn, and Stephen Rex, but they are slower than the Peloton pack, which has turned into a single file line. Jake Sylvia, Austin Edwards told everyone to stop passing each other, and there were probably a couple of bleep words in there. And by the way, those are just saying them out loud by themselves, not telling them, because Whale PD is not allowed anymore, so drivers can only talk to in their team chats in Discord.
Yeah, that's, I think we picked the wrong race to have Whale PD unavailable, especially with that EHP move earlier. But now you got Austin Edwards leading this group, and this is probably the biggest pack out there right now. They're going to start running people down. This pack is going to start coming together, but I also noticed something else. Jose Gaudino getting massive push. Albie Hewins in 22nd, holding on right behind the leader and doing an amazing job. And, you know, if it comes down to it, I think if I were Jose Gaudino, I'd let Albie by, put him in the position where he is on the lead lap if the caution comes out, and I'd save a little fuel right here.
Well, I mean, it could be either that or Albie could be a much better pusher compared to Jose Gaudino. I mean, as well, I wonder what it's like for Albert and his water and oil temperatures for all that bump drafting. He is getting a little bit of air, but that's got to be going up through the high ranges just above 212.
And yes, we did hear, I heard a couple of issues last night when the Jones boys were racing. A couple of guys talking about the practices and during the heat races. A couple of guys blew engines. They just let it get too hot. They weren't paying close attention. I'm willing to bet they are paying much closer attention here tonight to the temperatures.
Austin Edwards, Mason Foster, Zach Edwards, PDJ Zeller just ran their best laps, 48.43s and 48.42s. Let's see how much they are closing in. They are now 2.6 seconds back on the four-car train from Sean English, Rodney German, Blake Wynn, Stephen Rex. We'll see if something comes out well where they can all merge into a line and try and close in on Luke Turpin, who is 8.3 seconds ahead of Sean English.
Well, you know, Jake Sylvia leading that group right now is 2.5 seconds behind Stephen Rex, and you can almost watch the time count down. They're gaining so quickly. They go from 2.5 to 2.4, but it looks like that group with Stephen Rex still has some momentum. They've actually been able to stall. They've not been able to pull away, but they've been able to stall the gain of Jake Sylvia and crew.
And we'll continue on here. Take a look from our XCAL Racing blimp. As you see some incredible pictures here. Once again, that pack led by Jake Sylvia, 2.2 seconds behind Stephen Rex. This is kind of the big action we're seeing on track, and this is actually split into two now. PDJ Zuxamy, Alex Krapser now leads a second pack with Ryan Seams, Matt Pelletier, and Stephen Wetton, and they have lost about 0.4 of a second per lap to this train led by Sylvia.
Yeah, that looks like they are still going side by side. And you know Petey's sitting there yelling at him, but we have got a little bit of a blink. Who was that out of?
That's probably Seams in the 131.
Again, he has started blinking again. That could be, and he was literally leaning down on Pelletier trying to get a side draft. Not a good place to be if you're randomly disappearing. It's worth noting, if the car in front of you disappears, the physics disappear as well. You lose that draft. You're fighting the air again. So if you have a driver in your pack that is blinking, the best place to put him is at the back.
You saw, by the way, Albert Hewins lose some ground to Jose Gaudino. May have been to get some air out of the grill. As last time by, Gaudino 49.04. Bartles and Colgan, who have pulled away from the lead lap, from the lap cars behind just a little bit. 48.77s, and once again, Sylvia 1.9 seconds behind Steven Rex.
Yeah, these guys, they are continuing to chomp away at that lead. Although, as I mentioned, Steven Rex and that group ahead, they have managed to mitigate that. This group should have been able to run them down fairly quickly. They're just not able to. I mean, these guys are really well packed up. They're really doing a great job of staying in line. But that group in front, they're just doing just a hair better somehow and managing to keep that gap. So when the group behind catches up, they won't be able to run freight train by them. Although now, as soon as we say something, they start splitting up a little bit.
Let's give a couple of shout-outs here at the moment when it comes to notable starts. First off, Alex Krapser in 15th spot. This is his 50th XCAL Racing start. That is the third most on the all-time list. Blake Wynn and John Friley, who are each in 8th and 27th respectively, with their 40th XCAL Racing starts. We mentioned Austin Edwards earlier with his 35th start. And Jeff Edgar, who is currently running in position number 26 with his 30th start. And speaking of Edgars, Brett Edgar, fastest lap of the race last time by at a 48.31. Keep in mind that is 5 bonus points if you do get the fastest lap of this race. So everyone may be fighting for that like it is F1.
Yeah, some of these guys we've seen lay back just to use the draft coming out of 4, pull themselves right back up, and they carry that momentum, and it gives them that extra fast lap. Some of these guys really trying to get any points they can. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys lead a lap, but looks like Brett Edgar might be focused on getting that fastest lap because he has been extremely fast the last couple laps, and for some reason, Tim Pruitt is on pit road alone.
Well, he's out of the race. So Brett Edgar, by the way, at the tail end of that draft, which is how he is racking up the faster laps than anybody else out there.
Definitely paying off, and that group is definitely gaining quickly.
1.4 seconds behind Stephen Rex and company. For English, he's 6.7 back and running faster laps than Luke Turpin and Matt Baer. For them, they are running a 1/10 of a second better laps than Kyle Bartles and Robert Colgan. And then Jose Gaudino is still running faster laps than everyone else inside the top 5. That's awesome to see from Jose Gaudino. This is probably the most TV time we've ever given him.
Yeah, you know, he's got a huge push from Albie Hewins. You got to give credit, a lot of that credit, to Albie Hewins doing a great job and getting that car right to the bumper, giving him a great push. They are actually gaining on some lap cars just ahead, so they're going to get even more drafting help here in a minute. Jose Gaudino has a 12-second lead right now. If they catch up to that pack ahead before too much longer, he might be able to hold on to this lead a lot longer.
And that's been a constant lead for Gaudino. Let's remember, that's been constant with only 2 drivers. So he's really thinking Albert Hewins on this run for sure and could be on pace to lead the most laps today. We'll just have to see what happens. We should, though, be expecting him, though, in about maybe 15 laps from now. Let's remember, his last pit stop was a minute 35 compared to everyone else who was having just about 2 minutes or over. So that's probably 3/4 of a tank that he took. So he pitted on lap 99. We'd probably expect him around lap 144, 140, 150 or so.
Yeah, again, the fuel strategy might come into play here, but Jose, you got to give him credit for doing what he is doing. We saw the same strategy a little bit ago out of Brad Ebel, and Brad got quite a few laps led, got some bonus points. So some of these guys are just out here playing the points game while they have the opportunity to do so.
And something to keep in mind as well, if Gaudino, though, does pit in at least 10 laps from now, he's able to go the distance. Because remember, a 60 to 65 lap pit window.
Yeah, and he might actually be able to extend his fuel run just a little bit as he catches these guys.
Yep.
So a lot of different factors coming into play for Jose Gaudino. Could we see Gaudino pull off what I believe would be his first XCAL win?
Sean Patrick, Don Jordan, Matt Pelletier. We just had the quickest lap last time by. And let's go back to that Peloton train. They have officially caught the train in front of them of Stephen Rex, Blake Wynn, Ronnie German, and Sean English. Fastest lap of the race now belongs to the 25 of Sylvia, 48.25. Austin Edwards has found a little help from his friends. Sean English is now in that pack as well. I guess you could say as well Ronnie German, Blake Wynn, Stephen Rex, even though they're not teammates.
You know, it's worth noting that Austin Edwards had the same lap time as Jake Sylvia. That difference, Sylvia's difference, is measured in thousandths of a second. He was just a few thousandths of a second faster. And now that Austin Edwards has got some friends, now some of these other guys might have a few friends out there as well. Things could get a little sketchy. They may not gain as much ground as we've seen these guys gain in this big pack. And look at this. Zach Edwards just did a 48.20 and set the fastest lap.
The laps are ticking down and down. Sim time currently 6:10 p.m. Eastern time on the iRacing set. And the track temp is starting to go down just a little bit. Currently, it's set at 89 degrees. This race will probably go on for about another hour to 90 minutes or so. And we'll see that track temp go down once more. And obviously, it's because of the draft with Zach Edwards at the tail end of it. Trust me, I know how that works. I was the fastest in final practice for All-Star Racing and winning $10. Don't mean to toot my own horn, but I kind of had to say that. Trust me. Very easy to do that in the draft. That's how you start up front.
Speaking of up front, Jose Gaudino has caught a pack of lap cars and now just going to ride along. He went ahead and let Albie Hewins around, so Albie,
I like that.
Now officially back on the lead lap. Smart move by Jose Gaudino. He got a ton of help from Albie. He lets him back by, puts Albie in a good position, and gives himself an opportunity to save a little fuel here.
Not just save a little fuel, but again, tail end of this draft. He could try and get the fastest lap right here. Last time by, his opponents were a quarter of a second quicker than him. Now he's in a bigger pack. Now he can draft. He can try and tick off some pretty good lap times. We'll just have to see what happens. But look at the run Hewins is getting, though. Hewins is starting to pull away from Gaudino. Big push to Derek Colson in the 5. So let's look at the lap time here, this time for Gaudino.
And Albie definitely has some speed here tonight. He has got an opportunity. Him and Gaudino got him up into a position that he can start picking up some times. Jose runs a 48.5 that time by, so he's obviously finding some speed too.
That was his best lap. He actually ran a 49.46.
Yep.
He's a half second slower than Kyle Bartels at the moment, so not looking too good. Hey, while we're at it, we are 133 laps complete. Let's take this opportunity for you to turn up your volume at home. Crank it up here at Michigan.
You know that is always fun to do.
Absolutely, especially when it comes to super speedway racing. Taking a look at lap times here at the line. Fastest car on track last time by Jake Sylvia at a 48.3. Actually, Sean English give a correction at 48.29. Now compare Jake Sylvia to the train ahead. They're running laps a half second quicker than Luke Turpin and Matt Bear, who again only in a two-car train pushing each other. Could be three when Greg Holtz comes up. Teammates, by the way, as we should mention, to Matt Bear and Luke Turpin.
Yeah, I think Greg Holes will get hooked up, and probably he's been out there alone for a while, so I'd expect him to drop to the back, save a little bit of fuel here. Matt Bear, Luke Turpin caught quickly. He jumps to the high side. He'll drop to the back, and it'll help all three of them pick up a little more speed. Obviously, Turpin and Bear have been able to hold everybody off for a long time, but Jake Sylvia has now within about 3.1 seconds, and that bigger line is definitely moving forward quickly.
Let's talk about Gaudino here real quick. Again, he's still losing a lot of time. Kyle Bartels in second, actually just ran his best lap at a 48.56. Gap is now 10 seconds. Here's what I think Gaudino is doing. He's slowing up, trying to save fuel, and then fill her up where we can go the entire way past lap 140. Because here's a lesson what I think he learned in the last time he was in contention to try and win a race. We all know when it comes to super speedway racing and XCAL racing, we've got a long run developing to go to the end. A game of chicken develops. Normally you want to be the last guy to pit because you can take the least amount of fuel than everyone else, get out in front, and win the race. I think what Gaudino was trying to do, he's trying to defy those odds and then just take as less amount of fuel as possible, as least amount of fuel as possible, correct my language, to get out to the front and just finish to the end with no fuel left.
Yeah, he definitely is trying to do the math on this, and that's always a tricky game. As you mentioned, it's a game of chicken. Getting the time right, getting the fuel right, it's gonna be interesting. But I guarantee you, Gaudino, this time he is gonna play it safe, get an extra gallon or two.
However, though, if he does have the app Race Lab apps, it'll measure the fuel for you, and then when you make your final stop, it'll only just give you the minimum amount you need to go to the finish. That's why I like it a lot. Blake Wynn, fastest car on track last time by. Actually, Steven Rex, 48.26. Sylvia is 1.8 seconds behind Luke Turpin and Matt Bear. They know that they got some company coming, half second slower once again.
Yeah, there is, this is going to end up, unless all the drivers hit green flag stops, which all of them will be within the window in the next lap. So everybody will be able to make it next time by. If they hit pit stops, one of two things will happen. The entire field will break back up into 2s and 3s, or just by the way everything plays out, they'll end up back into one big pack. And then you start seeing the lead changes, you start seeing the aggression, and no telling what will happen from there.
Absolutely. So, we have hit the window. Final stops could be coming up shortly. Steven Rex, fastest lap last time by at a 48.17. Jose Gaudino continues to lead. Kyle Bartels second. Robert Colgan third. Matt Bear fourth. Luke Turpin rounds out the top five. We'll step aside and go side by side.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Woo! This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Woo! Howdy, partner.
56 laps to go here in the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist 400 from Legacy, Michigan. Marty Sakala alongside Doug Burns with you. We are off next week, but in 2 weeks we head to South Boston Speedway for what should be a fun one for round number 17. Once again, we're live at 7:20 p.m. 2 weeks from now. The leader is on his way into pit road. He's gone as far as he can. Now he'll try to take as much as he can on minimum fuel and go the distance. We'll watch this stop very closely.
And here's another one. Kyle Bartles, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle has not led yet tonight.
It's not 20th different leader in this race, folks.
So the 20th, Colgan, I believe, did lead earlier on.
He did.
So he's in that pack. Rodney German in third. Luke Turpin did lead. Stephen Rex in fifth has not led. Blake Wynn got very close, but I don't think he actually scored a lap as the leader.
And now the leader is starting to blink. That's going to get interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder what Hillebush is doing right now with this over 100 lap long run. I think he's taking a nap.
I'm checking just to see if I have any message from him. Nope, nothing.
So he's probably taking a nap. We got good racing happening for third. That pack we told you about earlier that was led by Jake Sylvia, they've caught up to Luke Turpin and Matt Baer. Rodney German is up into the third position and now 14 seconds behind Kyle Bartles, who is running even times with the pack at the moment.
Wow, this is going to, this is going to get interesting. It's all going to come down to this final stop and how they play out, if they end up packed back up together. And, if the EHP team gets back together, there's no telling what they can do. But the JNS still has a lot of cars out there. They could get up there and make something happen as well. It's just too early to call who a winner's going to be in this one. And a caution would definitely flip the whole race on its lid.
Bartles' best finish this season was a fifth. That came at Charlotte in the season opener. I'm going to pull up his statistics in all of XCAL Racing and give you the career stats. Best finish in the mini stocks, third at South Boston. That 5th place finish at Charlotte, his best finish on a super speedway.
Here's an interesting note about that finish. When I have to explain to people...
Here they come. Here
Oh,
they come. Top 2 is in. Top 2 is in for their final stop of the race. Jeff Edgar, John Friley joined them to see if they can all work together to go to the finish and see if they can bring Bartles and Colgan home free. Now let's remember Jose Gaudino. Right now he's the highest driver that has pitted already on lap 145. He is currently 11 seconds ahead of Stephen Wetton, and the 15 is in the draft. So this will get interesting.
Here's another interesting note. Of the guys that have not pitted in this lead pack, Blake Wynn, currently in 4th, has not led a lap. Zach Edwards, currently in 5th, has not led a lap. Looking through, I think everybody else had, but if either one of those drivers get up here and lead a lap, we will have had half the field lead here tonight.
Even Rex is yet to lead. But yes, this lead pack is the Peloton pack, led by Rodney German, Mason Foster, and Luke Turpin.
You got to give it to Mason, man. Last year at this race and at the All-Star race, he did not make a lot of friends. A lot of drivers really unhappy with his level of aggression, how much he threw the elbows and the bumpers. This race, he has been exceedingly clean. He has spent the entire season earning everybody on that track's respect, and it has been a beautiful thing to watch, and he's in contention. It doesn't matter where we go. Mason Foster is in contention, as he is right now when he takes the lead.
Tell you this, Jose Gaudino currently a lap behind Robert Colgan and Kyle Bartles, who are on pit road trying to take as much fuel as they can. Gaudino's stop was a 1:56. Should be good to take in the distance. We'll look at the stops this time. Edgar and Friley are out. 1:35, 1:48. Colgan and Bartles, I don't see them going at all.
They're still on pit
Bartles
road.
is
Bartles
out.
is coming out. Colgan is still there.
So they had a faster stop by 10 seconds, which should even them up with Jose Gaudino. Let's see here. Gaudino is in turn number 4. These guys will get the draft on in 1 and 2. And the apron, remember, you can go full throttle.
Yes, you can. You know, we were talking about Charlotte a minute ago. What an awesome race. And when I'm out in public or at work and explain to people what I do in the evenings, I take that clip that I made on YouTube of the last 15 laps of that race, and I show it to them, and I say, that's my voice, and that's what I'm doing. And people just totally get it, because the end of that race was legendary. Joe Campbell's win was practically a miracle, and it was just such an awesome finish.
And Colgan and Bartles have jumped Jose Gaudino, but Gaudino is about to merge into a pack with who else but Albert Hewins.
Oh boy, Albie and Jose again. You know, these two together, if these two get hooked up when we go to California at Auto Club, I don't know if anybody could stop them as fast as they were. If they get any help at all, they would be unbeatable. I'm just saying, maybe J&S needs to hire Jose Gaudino and have him and Bartles, or him and, I just went completely dumb. Have him and
Absolutely.
Albie work together.
I want to take a look at lap times next time by for Bartles and Colgan compared to Gaudino, and that would give us a good idea of how they're looking. Even lap times last time by, but I want to take a look as they're up to speed.
You know, another one worth mentioning, I've mentioned this once before, and then they went green flag ever since, but Gerald Poole, Joe Campbell, each 1 lap down, and they are in position, and Brad Ebel also in position to get the wave around. So if the caution comes out, I think the rest of the field might want to watch out.
Kendrick Cryer is in the pits. Now, Colgan and Bartles, again, we mentioned even times last time. Gaudino just a couple of hundredths faster, but watch Bartles and Colgan closely. Bartles is bump drafting Colgan. That's how they're maintaining that even speed.
And
So this is it. And Gaudino is falling to the rear of this pack. I don't know if I would want to be there if I'm Jose.
It's a risky one, but you know, if everybody stays single file for the moment, It's the smart move. He'll have momentum when the time comes. He'll be able to work the draft toward the front.
His best finish this season for Jose is an 11th that came at the Pocono Road Course. Looking for his first top 10 this season. It could look pretty good as we're focused, again, back up front. You see the leaders all in a train. That's your top 11 on the racetrack. At this point on, we should be seeing the field come in just a matter of moments. I would not want to be Mason Foster right now because I'm using more fuel than the guys behind me.
Oh, definitely. And if I'm Mason Foster, I've got my teammate behind me who has not led a lap yet tonight. And, you know, let him find a way, work with your two teammates there, work with them to get them to the front, get it back where you can draft for a few minutes, but they have a lap teammate just ahead that they're going to catch. So anything could possible here, but personally, I just want to see Zach Edwards lead a lap, so we have had half the field lead here tonight.
Zach, just do it. You've got your teammate behind you in PDJ Zeller. Just make the darn pass already.
Mason, buddy. Danielle, would you please hop in the Discord and tell Mason to let him lead so we can do this?
Do the EHP strategy, damn it. Do the EHP strategy. Just go 3 wide.
They've got another teammate there. Go 4 wide. I think I saw another JNS car in this pack, so 5 wide. We're good with it.
Yeah, we're good. Quickest lap, Austin Edwards, 48 points. Actually, 47,995. Doug, you and I talked about this under our last commercial break. We saw laps in the 48.2s and the 48.09s. I said, we'll be hitting 47s, and guess what? Austin Edwards just had the first lap in the 47s. Sean English had a 47,997.
That is how close it is here. We're measuring lap times in thousandths of a second. But, oh, are we about to see it? Nope. I thought Mason was going to let Zach by. Didn't happen yet. That whole pack right there is single file, and that whole pack still needs to come to pit road. So we may not see this one work out for him, but, man, I got my fingers crossed on this one. I just want to see Zach lead a lap.
Me as well. Robert Colgan and Kyle Bartos still the first 2 that are good to go the distance. And it's Jose Gaudino who is back 4 seconds. Last time by, though, he was a 1/10 of a second faster. So he could get in striking distance on Colgan and Bartles by the end of the race at this pace.
Colgan and Bartles do have some lap cars just ahead of them. So we could see this play out a little bit differently if they catch those lap cars and have more help. And if that group of cars will stay single file with them, no telling, they could actually pull away from Gaudino. But you gotta root for Gaudino. He has played this strategy out perfectly. He's been so close before. Really want to see a guy like that get to victory lane before the season is out.
And all staying single file, just nearing 40 laps to go.
Taking a quick look here.
Leto's getting. Go ahead.
Track conditions you and I talked about a moment ago. Air temperature 83, track temperature 88. It is coming down, and I would expect to see another degree drop. And that cooler temperature, the engines run hotter. They are not hotter, but harder. They can go faster. Plus, the track temperature, more grip, more speed.
Something to remember as well, there is a lot of cloud cover. It's currently mostly cloudy at MIS, so that really does help as well with the lap times, why we have our fastest lap in the 47s. Don Jordan also in the pits for his final stop of the race.
Yeah, and it looks like we have some guys in this lead pack that are starting to set up for pit stops. I thought we were going to see Luke Turpin and Matt Bear come down, but not the case yet.
Should expect these guys. Should expect to see these guys come in about 5 laps from now. 5, maybe 10 laps or so.
Well, remember, Turpin and Bear have a little bit less fuel from those quicker stops.
So remember, once again, it is all a game of chicken with this long run. You want to be in the lead and take as less fuel as possible. However, though, with the pack, though, Doug, I'm not too sure.
Man, it is definitely roll of the dice at this point what you're going to do on pit road, but whoever you go to pit road with, they have to play the same strategy. If you have even so much as a 3 or 4 gallon difference in fuel, here they come. Turpin and Bear are in.
And last time by the way, Jose Gaudino was the quickest car on track, so you know he is closing in big time on Colgan and Bartles. Now the issue is with those 3 drivers is because of that big trait. The Big 10 car train, which is really increasing a lot of speed, able to save fuel at the same time, and could put up a bigger gap.
Mason Foster at the front leads a 6-car pack. They're actually at a bit of a disadvantage right now because of the bigger packs forming that have been to pit road.
When Colgan and Bartles come to the stripe next time by, they will be a lap ahead. Here comes a bunch of them. German, English, Sylvia, and Edwards. That's 3 EHP cars you see come in. I guess German has been an assisted teammate probably tonight, even though I think he's part out of the Don Jordan camp.
Yeah, he's definitely working with that group right at the moment. Got single file with him. I think he's figured out, hey, the EHP boys, they have something up their sleeve, and if I help them, they may help me. And if he can get a top 5 out of it, even a top 10, that would be a great night for Don Jordan.
You just saw Colgan and Bartles go by. They're a lap behind Bear and Turpin, but now they're more laps behind the guys like Austin Edwards, which are currently in pit road. We'll watch the Bear and Turpin come out closely. Blake Wynn is in the pits, but he comes in by himself. Oh, man, that's not good for the 99.
Zach Edwards just led the lap.
Zach Edwards, perfect. 21st lead change. Half the field has led a lap tonight.
21st leader, but how many lead changes? And we lost track of it earlier. We'll have to post those stats. Make sure you send me all that information after the race. We'll definitely post it on Facebook because this has been an insane number.
Bear and Turpin are out. 13-second quicker stop than Robert Colgan and Kyle Bartles. Colgan and Bartles are in the line entering turn number 1.
Bear and Turpin hit the back straightaway.
Jose Gaudino, meanwhile, closing in on Colgan and Bartles. Luke Turpin the first one, but now you got Sean English, Ronnie German next in the pits. This could get interesting.
Wow.
Again, a game of chicken, folks.
A game of chicken while playing 3D chess at the same time. This is going to get really, really interesting. And the way pit stops are going off right now, we talked about it earlier, that we would end up seeing a situation where the pack would either break up more or be in one bigger pack. And it's looking right now like it's going to be one bigger pack. As EHP comes off pit road, here come Matt Bear and Luke Turpin. Jake Sylvia right behind them. Here comes Colgan, Bartles, Gaudino.
English with a 119 stop. The leaders come on in. We're just waiting for 3 guys now. Krapser, Seams, and Hewins. Meanwhile, Blake Wynn a longer stop than Sean English. Waiting for Pelletier and Patrick. English overtakes Patrick. English overtakes Pelletier. Blake Wynn comes out of the pits, and he'll be behind Sean English. Everyone else is in the pits for their final stop of the race.
This is crazy.
So right now, Sean English and Blake Wynn battling for what could be the lead here off of turn number 2. Blake Wynn just gets out front of Sean English, and he was all by himself with a 4-second slower stop than English.
Oh, and by the way, watch Albie Hewins.
Hewins is in the lead, 22nd leader of this race, and he's in a big draft.
Great job by Albie Hewins getting up there, getting the bonus points tonight.
Oh, he's out of fuel. He's out of fuel.
Oh!
The car's cinching on him. Oh, no.
Albie, buddy, I was cheering for you.
He's clutching it right now. See if he can get it to the pits in time. But yeah, that is likely going to end the chances for a win for Albert Hewins. He took the risk. He should have pitted the lap earlier.
but you got to give the guy credit. He has been super fast, and he has been a great help to Jose Godino. If Jose wins this thing, he's going to owe it about 50% or more to Albie Ewens.
Ewens, though, in the pits. He still may be fine, though. Who knows? But Steven Rex is coming out. Blake Wynn is in turn number 4. Oh, my goodness. Steven Rex could end up the leader in all of this. Zeller and Edwards exit the pits. Same with Mason Foster.
I think we're going to see Blake Wynn lead a lap, and he has not led yet tonight.
Steven Rex, though, comes out as the race leader. Blake Wynn just got overtaken by Sean English and Rodney German. English goes to second on the track. Steven Rex with a 7.5 second lead, but no help. Here comes the 23rd leader in the race.
Zach Edwards in that group, Petey in that group. Everybody good on fuel at this point. And Petey did say before the race he was going for it tonight. He said he'd get a lap led in the first 20 laps. He did it. Now he's got his teammates there.
Oh, Don Jordan off the track. Oh, trouble. Jordan goes around into victory lane. Holes is also involved. No caution. We stay under the green flag. That was a nasty wreck. Don Jordan up and over. Again, that's in the law. No caution, will stay green.
Let's see what happened thanks to Flaming Karma and Greg Holes. Oh, Greg Holes just pushed up the track. The car between them moves up to try and stay out of his way and clips him and just sends him around into the infield.
Not on the track, will stay under the green flag. Jordan has taken his car onto pit road. Rex continues to lead, and let's go for a full field rundown for the final time tonight here, Doug.
Up front, Steven Rex leading for the first time tonight. Zach Edwards about 7 seconds back and gaining. He's got teammate PDJ Zeller and teammate Mason Foster with him. Sean English in 5th, Rodney German in 6th. Blake Wynn in 7th, and the winningest driver in XCAL history in 8th, gaining on this group. Luke Turpin back in 9th, still has Matt Bear with him, and those two are combined are extremely fast. Alex Krapser back in 11th, Jake Sylvia in 12th. Ryan Seams currently 13th with Matt Pelletier in 14th. Jose Godino in 15th, making his way forward. Robert Colgan in 16th, and as Kyle Bartles helping him in 17th. Sean Patrick currently in 18th, but all alone. Stephen Wetton in 19th, and he is with the leader. Albie Ewens back out on track in 20th. Get some, Albie.
Something we should mention as well, Godino was able to overtake Colgan and Bartles. That battle we were watching earlier is successful once again. Here are the drivers that are laps down. Daniel Miller is in 21st spot, an EHP car, by the way. He's pushing Austin Edwards, running in 8th. You got Jeremy Leto in 22nd, pushing James Johnson. Jeff Edgar is in 23rd, working with a couple of other drivers like Robert Colgan and Jose Godino. John Friley is 24th. Kendrick Cryer has only been able to recuperate up 4 spots to 25th after his spin earlier. Gerald Poole is 26th. James Johnson is 27th. Brett Edgar, after starting on pole, is back in 28th after running out of fuel earlier. Art Hendren with this pack is in 29th. Brad Ebel, who led earlier in this race, is in 30th. Haven't talked about John Brancaccio a lot tonight. He's in 31st position. Joe Campbell out of the pits is running in 32nd. Don Jordan, Greg Holes after the crash earlier, 33rd and 34th. Nicholas Seams is 35th. Derek Colson in 36th. Out of the race, Tim Pruitt, Edmund Jones, TJ DeBlasi, Sean Andrews, Jonathan Schwartz, and Jonathan Bergeron. It is a 5.6 second lead for Steven Rex, who is running laps that are just about a quarter of a second faster than Zach Edwards, PDJ Zeller, Mason Foster, and Sean English. That's your top 5. We're taking you side by side. When we come back, we are taking you to the finish. Stay with us.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
We are taking you to the final 26 laps of this race, commercial free. It's a good one to the end here. Stephen Rex is leading with the help of some lap cars and Albert Hewins and Stephen Wetton. He's got a 4-second lead on Zach Edwards, PDJ Zeller, Mason Foster, Sean English, Rodney German, and Blake Wynn. However, though, the issue with Stephen Rex is he is losing a lot of time, about 1/4 of a second per lap. If I'm doing my calculations right here, Doug, the drivers could catch Steven in about 10 laps.
Yeah, and if they gain any more momentum here, I mean, they'll catch him even quicker than that. They're down to 3.8 seconds. It looks like they're actually picking up a little bit of speed. Steven Rex, Albie Hewins is there. If Rex could get out front, get Albie to push, and the 15 to drop back in line, third in line, I guarantee you they could keep that distance a little bit longer, but it's just going to come down to getting everybody in the best position, and right now they're not there. The JNS team back behind, and that's probably why Albie is not pushing very hard right now, because he's got 3 JNS teammates right behind him, and one of them, PDJ Zeller, very hungry for a win here.
Yeah, you know the JNS drivers are going to work together for sure. PD is just talking with these guys and telling them, come on, keep pushing, we're doing great. We are faster by about 0.3 of a second compared to the leader in Steven Rex. Rex, by the way, looking for his first XCAL win. If I'm looking at the stats coming on in for Steven, the best this season for him in terms of his finish was a 3rd place finish that took place actually at the last Super Speedway race at Texas Motor Speedway. If we look, though, in his career, give me one moment, I'm just updating this. Best finish for Steven in his XCAL racing career is a 2nd place finish, which he got in a fun race between 2020 and 21, but the 3rd place finish is his best finish in an XCAL Tuesday race.
So best points finish in 2nd, looking to beat that today. A couple of lap cars coming into play. Could they get hooked up here and help? One of them being an EHP car. Could these guys play a factor here if this pack continues to grow? You know, Steven Rex might be able to pull away a little bit. That gap now down to 3 seconds. If he can get these guys to hook up with him, who knows what could happen from here. It could change the entire ball game.
Last time by, a much better lap for Steven Rex, even though he lost time, a 48.75 to the 48.6s. The drivers in this lead pack are running, the 2nd pack, I should say, to be specific. Now, what's going to be interesting here is the situation with Blake Wynn. The drivers out of the JNS Racing Camp cannot stand the 99, especially PDJ Zeller. Does not like him. Wherever Blake goes in these final few laps, you know the JNS guys are going to go the other way. And they know that Blake Wynn is very good at super speedways. He won the All-Star race last year.
Well, they're either going to go the other way or they're going to actively block like crazy to keep Blake Wynn back there. But, you know, with 22 laps to go, anything could happen here. And Blake Wynn, obviously very good at super speedways, also recently has been extreme. Holy cow! We've got one on the wall!
Crash.
Two on the
To
wall!
the wall. Keeps it straight, no caution. He's out of the racing groove, will stay green. But that is a right front suspension that has been damaged off of the 96.
And
Oh,
now,
man.
now J&S is down to this 2-car group. They do not have the help they had just a moment ago. Petey and Sean do not have a lot of help. They've got the 17 of Blake, or of
Sean English.
Sean English, thank you. Yeah, they got Sean English.
Remember, he won the first 2 stages of the All-Star race last week, so that's a big factor.
Yeah, it definitely is a factor, but they have Sean English to work with because you know that 99 is not going to be any help whatsoever. Petey really,
He's
really...
bump drafting. I think right now that's going to be the only way, because of how the tandem is. That's the only way to prevent Sean English, Blake Wynn, or even Rex from winning this race. But a big heartbreak for Mason Foster. From last all the way up to the front, he was having a great day today. Ronnie German put on a great, absolutely incredible show this season. Best finish, he was looking for a 13th place finish. Could still get it, it's running 6th though. But chances to win are likely gone unless the yellow flag flies. The gap though for Steven Rex is down. 1.6 seconds with 20 to go.
And you know, it's surprising that it didn't drastically change, that Petey and Zach have been able to keep that going, but now it looks like Steven Rex is going to go to the front of this pack and hope putting some cars between him and Zach will pay off.
That's the move to go. And look at that, it's well behind him. He's got his teammate. That's the 45 of Sean Patrick, who is now, by the way, remember, the new owner of the Riding Dirty Race team.
So
remember, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
He's got a lot of help. That driver is definitely going to want to push Rex to a win. But look at this. The outside line has formed up, and the J&S team driver, Albie Hewins, is up there pushing. And he is really pushing.
Remember the story coming on in with this Riding Dirty Race team. Sean Patrick just bought this team from Steven Rex entering this week. This team is ranked 23rd of 24 teams coming on in. If Steven Rex could turn this around, that would be incredible, but look at the gap for Zach Edwards. Went down a half second last time by. Zach and Petey are pushing big time. Here comes Sean English and Blake Wynn as well. This is likely going to turn into a 5-car battle for the race win unless we see a yellow flag before 5 to go.
Rodney German out there, he's got a lap car, but he is 7.5 seconds back. Austin Edwards, another 2 seconds back in 7th place. He did say in the pre-race, super speedways are not his friend. It's the one place he seems to struggle.
Here they go to the outside. Zach Edwards, PDJ Zeller, battle for the lead down the back straightaway. Can Zach Edwards get the push entering turn number 3? He's got it thanks to Hewins and thanks to Petey. Zach edges out just in front of Steven Rex. But Rex gets the better run on the inside, nearly gets Steven Wynn loose.
And look at this. It looks like the J&S team struggling to coordinate here, or maybe they didn't.
Oh! Edwards to the race lead. Up for second is Rex. And remember, Hewins, by the way, is a teammate out of the J&S Racing camp. This is absolutely huge for Zach and Petey.
Yeah, they've got Hewins, who's not on the lead lap, but is one of the best pushers in the field, now behind him. I would expect that 3-car group to make a charge toward the front, or to the lead, rather.
Edwards to the point. Zeller second. Rex is third. English and Wynn are in this pack as well. Let's see what happens. Oh, Rex puts the bumper to the 15. Big stack up. Rex goes sideways. Can he save it? Yes, he can. Oh, what a tough break for Riding Dirty. They are outside of the top 4.
Wow, but a great save by Steven Rex, and he still has his teammate with him. He's going to possibly lose that lead draft, but he has still got a great run going here in 5th place, and he's still got 8.5 seconds over Austin Edwards.
And now if I'm Albert Hewins, I am blocking Blake Wynn and Sean English as much as possible because they know they've got fast cars. He puts Blake Wynn into the wall down the back chute. And look at the gap they've opened up.
Not a surprise to see that 55.
Oh,
Holy cow!
Hewins is sideways from Wynn. Can he save it? Oh,
does.
my, it's getting exciting. And now Wynn moves Wynn up the track. Now remember with Sean English, this will get interesting. He's got a teammate as well in Kendrick Cryer. Oh boy, Blake Wynn's got no friends at the moment. And now you see Cryer going up on the outside, trying to pass Wetton. Now what can English and Wynn do? Oh, excuse me, what can English and Cryer do, rather? I'm sorry, Doug.
No, they can definitely get hooked up and get to the front here, but I think they're going to have a hard time getting past Zach and Petey at this point. No telling what's going to happen from here, but I can tell you Blake Wynn is the lone man out right now, especially after what just happened with a couple of incidents the last lap or so. I think that, Blake Wynn didn't cause any of them, but he was in proximity, and it might have been enough to anger the J&S driver. But look back behind. Steven Rex now has help from Albie Hewins again.
However, the last time by, they were about 0.3 slower compared to the leaders. English and Wynn are back in this, but you see Petey, look at the bump draft. He just lifted Zach's wheels off of the ground. This is getting good.
Blake is closing in quickly on him, but it does look like he's given a little bit of room here. Don't think he's going to get up here and get physical with it.
13 laps to go at the Michigan International Speedway, and as of right now, it's turned into a 4-man shootout. It's going to be very tough for Blake Wynn to try and make this win, because Petey and Zach will not go with the 99, that's for sure.
And do you think that the EHP cars back behind are going to give any help to Blake Wynn? I don't know that there's any animosity between those teams, but, it's just going to be a very, very interesting situation for Blake Wynn. He might be in a little bit of trouble here.
The JNS team has combined for 2 wins this season. Of course, you had Alex Krapser, who took the win a couple of weeks ago at Lanier. That was actually the last points race in XCAL Racing. And then you had Joe Campbell win the season opener at Charlotte. Blake Wynn, though's got a win, though, this season. That came at the Texas Motor Speedway. He knows how to win on super speedways. Once again, outside the Texas win, he's got a win in the All-Star race.
Oh, Kendrick
Sean
just
English
pushing Sean extremely hard. Actually got Sean a little sideways there.
Got to be careful on those bump drafts, Kendrick, off of turn number 2. You've got Sean English in the 99 up there. Once again, if we look at Sean's career stats, looking at it, he is looking for, I believe, his first XCAL win in his career, and he is. Best finish was second. That came at Martinsville earlier this year, back on January 18th. That would be huge for English if he can get this done. Remember, he cashed in $150 with the win in the stages. 11 laps remain.
Looking back, Steven Rex now 3.7 seconds back, and he is losing time to that lead pack. They have a 4-car pack now. With the incident, the 15 got sent backwards, but now they are just not getting hooked up. They might have a chance here if they could get connected, but there is another pack further back, led by Luke Turpin and Matt Baer, running 6th and 7th, and they are actually gaining on Steven Rex. Not sure they have enough time. They're going to have to be extremely quick.
It's going to be tough. They're going to need a yellow. Last time by, they were a 10th second slower. Again, Turpin's in 6th, Matt Baer 7th, Austin Edwards 8th, Rodney German is 9th, Alex Krapser not in this pack, I'm sorry.
No, Crapster's
And-
actually one of the biggest packs in the field right now.
Led with him and Sylvia, Pelletier, Zeems, Colgan, Bartles, Godino. You got Brett Edgar also in that pack as well. That's the third pack at the moment. That second and third pack's going to need a caution right now. Lap cars will not have a chance to win it. We're at 10 to go. The waves are turned off. Now Joe Campbell goes to the outside and lets the leaders race.
Oh, Joe Campbell, the leader of JNS,
Oh!
now slides down, and he is going to hop in this group right behind Blake Wynn, and I bet Blake Wynn just puckered up a bit.
Absolutely. Campbell to slow up English. Holds is also in this pack as well. 9 laps to go. Remember, 5 laps to go. We go green to the end of this one.
And, you know, Joe got in an incident earlier. He's been working on that car. He can obviously hold the draft now.
There we go. Blake to the inside doesn't work.
Blake has 0 help and a lot of enemies around.
Absolutely. 8 to go this time by. 16 miles remain in the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist 400. If I'm Zach Edwards, right now I think he's a sitting duck. What are you thinking inside the 6?
I'm thinking, please let Petey just stay in line, and hopefully we can finish 1-2 together. We can block Blake Wynn, but if they start battling, Blake Wynn has an opportunity, as does Sean English.
If I am PDJ Zeller, I'm pushing Zach Edwards until the final lap. When does he make his move to try and go for the win?
Entry into turn 3. That is your best chance. You lay back a little bit as you come down that back straightaway. You get as much momentum as possible. You send it into the turn, and you have to hope for the best, because once you break out of that draft and have that run built up, whatever happens, happens. You're just along for the ride.
This is the closest that Will PD has come to getting the top 5 this season. He's only had a total of 6 finishes in the top 10. His best finish is 7th. That came at the Pocono Road Course and Texas. 7 laps to go.
Does Blake Wynn, because of that animosity, does Blake Wynn get rough? They have lost Joe Campbell. Obviously, that car not able to stay in the draft like we thought. It is a 5-car battle. Petey is starting to get a little antsy there, especially with Blake Wynn on the bumper.
Zach Edwards has come close to winning this season. Perhaps the closest was at Concord a couple of weeks ago. Last month, finished 3rd in that race. Pit strategy going wrong on the final stop, trying to match Austin Edwards, who came home with the win, but a longer stop for Zach Edwards cost it. 6 laps to go. Next time by, if it's a green flag lap, we'll go green to the end. Only 1 caution in this race that happened on lap 30, and actually, PDJ Zeller was involved in that accident. This could be a spin and win night for the 00 if he can get it done.
And Petey is definitely thinking about how to get around here without costing the team, but you know he wants that win. I don't remember the last time Petey has had a win in XCAL points paying competition. He is hungry.
We're going to take a look in just a couple of moments, but here we come. Green, green, green. 5 laps remain at Michigan International Speedway.
Well, lap traffic just moving to the high side. They're not going to fight. Blake Wynn and has no help whatsoever anywhere out there. They're not going to catch anybody that will be of help to him. So he is on his own. Sean English has some help from Kendrick Cryer, but will that be enough with the JNS teammates out front?
Petey's got a win in mini stocks earlier this season that came at Lanier. Other than that, a couple of seconds in the mini stock series. The Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist 400 has turned in the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist 4. 4 laps remaining, 8 miles to go at Michigan. And again, 4 drivers will have a chance at winning this race.
$400 total purse to be split among the drivers. Yeah, they are gonna. I think this is gonna get rough on the last lap.
This is the second biggest purse of the season at $400. The biggest was at Charlotte earlier this season at $425. They're nose to tail, coming to 3 laps to go, and the question will be, who will make the first move? Remember, Kendrick Cryer, who's at the tail of this lead pack, not in contention to win it. He's currently running in 24th, but is trying to push his teammate, Sean English, to the front. 3 laps remain at Michigan.
Zach Edwards is driving in the mirror now. And look, they've got a team. It looks like they have a teammate ahead, another JNS driver.
That Seams. That is Seams.
He is obviously down on, does not have full speed. Will he be able to get into the draft and help? And if so, does he come down and do anything with Blake Wynn? No, he does not. Damage to that car is heavy.
They'll all stay in the same draft, but look at the traffic that's ahead of them. A couple of cars ahead that could determine who wins this race, perhaps. 2 sticks up in the air from Aaron Hillebush, the flagman. 2 to go. You saw Zach Edwards get a little bit loose in turn number 4. 4 miles remain at Michigan.
Blake Wynn's only hope here is getting Sean English to follow him and make a move here. And then those 3 duke it out. But I just don't know if they're going to... Kendrick Cryer is going to help push Sean English. Petey is...
Oh! Edwards and Zeller get loose off of 2. They save it, though. That got dangerous.
That definitely did with Blake Wynn right behind him. Zeller looks to the bottom.
A lot of blocking
blocks.
happening amongst the front 3.
While these 3 are blocking, I guarantee you, Sean English is back there planning.
He's planning with his teammate Kendrick Cryer. Wynn
Oh.
moves Zeller. They force each other below the line. Final lap underway.
Oh, that was way, way dangerous. Blake Wynn got below the line trying to force the issue.
Oh, Zeller moves everyone up the track. English is in the wall, and it's turned down to a threesome. Wynn and Zeller side by side for second. Is that what Zach Edwards needs to get his first win of the season? Under a mile to go.
Kendrick goes down and helps Blake Wynn.
It's a quarter of a second lead, but you never know what can happen. Wynn gets closer to Zach Edwards. Coming to the home stretch for the final time. Wynn tries to go up to the outside. Is it going to work? At the stretch, Zach Edwards takes the win at Michigan.
Blake Wynn comes home second, and Petey hops down to help his teammate, comes home third. Sean English looks like he's still going to make a 4th place finish, and Steven Rex, his best run of the season, in 5th.
Zach Edwards finally gets the win he's been wanting for weeks. First XCAL win for the driver of the number 6. And he can thank PDJ Zeller for the push, because if not, I think Blake Wynn's going to victory lane.
Yeah, Blake Wynn's move there at the end, he had a lot of momentum, but PD saw an opportunity, hopped back down underneath him, made sure he couldn't at least come back down, and by doing so, managed to run up and give Zach the push to the victory lane.
And look at this. The JNS Racing teammates come together to give each other a handshake. What a race, though, and we got to give credit to the drivers. Only 1 caution in the race on lap 30. It was the big one, but guess what? Zach Edwards gets the win, and I think we're about to get a JNS burnout right here.
I would say so. Zach burned some rubber. Now, Blake Wynn sitting at the start-finish line. PD over here getting ready to do his burnout.
I think Petey's just going to park it for victory lane, and some of the drivers will get ready for a demolition derby. We've got Petey in, so let's begin by talking with Petey. Petey, I know you didn't get the win you want. I know you were planning out your move, but I know you'll absolutely take a push to Zach Edwards to get JNS Racing a win.
Absolutely, Marty. I am so happy right now. You know, if I couldn't have won, I said before the race I wanted a teammate to win. And for Zach to get his first career win, you already have an XCAL win. Zach has his now. J&S is just a team full of winners now. We have so many different winners on the team. I would have liked to have a shot at him, but Blake kind of used me up in turn 1 and ruined that chance. But at that point, I was just focused on getting back to Zach's bumper to make sure he didn't lose. I mean, that was so much fun there at the end. That was just perfectly orchestrated teamwork.
How about as well getting your first top 5 of the season?
It's been a long time coming, Marty. I've had a lot of top 5 slip out of my hands through errors of myself, getting caught up in other people's errors. I've wanted a lot better season so far, but just sometimes the luck doesn't fall your way. But halfway point, this is a turning point. First top 5, get a 3rd place finish here. I am thrilled right now. So happy for Zach Edwards.
Petey, I have to ask one question here. Early on in the race, we saw the EHP roadblock, and you were the first driver to break through the roadblock. Do you see the J&S team forming a similar strategy later in the season?
No, probably not. I mean, that was just kind of dirtbaggy up there. That's why I broke it up. I mean, they were all up there dragging their brakes, trying to slow the whole pack up, slide job, and I mean, they were just asking to wreck the field there, so I wanted to get up there and break it up to hopefully avoid a wreck. I mean, I did that purely for the safety of the field.
Finally, I'm going to let you go from your driver hat to your executive hat. I know you have to be pleased with this race with only one caution coming on out.
What a great race, man. And it came down to a pack of cars, and, slowly, one by one, they started to fall off, but I'm just so happy. Thank you to Joe Poole with Ally Wheel Repair down in Greensville, South Carolina, sponsoring this. He made this purse so big tonight, and what a perfect night for J&S, man. I mean, Mason Foster, I'm sure you saw he was up there too. He got collected in some garbage. I really wish we could have had a shot for the 1, 2, 3, but in plate racing, you'll take a 1-3.
Who else do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just everyone at J&S, man. Joe Campbell, he makes this whole deal work for us. Thank you to Joe. Sean Andrews, he has the worst luck, but, Sean's going to turn it around. Nick Seams, Ryan Seams, Alex Crapser, I mean, he does so much for us calculating fuel during the races. Crapser makes it easy to worry about fuel mileage with stuff like that. Jerry Poole, obviously, Gerald Poole does all of our paints. Big thank you to him. Zach Edwards on his first career win tonight, baby. How about that? He gets to victory lane. And, of course, Aaron Hillbush and you guys for putting this on. XCAL Racing. This is truly the best short track racing league in all of iRacing. And time again, we prove that.
Great run tonight, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marty.
PDJ Zeller with a 3rd place finish. Our 2nd place finisher tonight, oh so close, margin of victory at the end, 0.05 of a second. Blake Wynn, Doug Scottham.
Blake, congratulations. You had no help there at the end. Were you worried that you weren't going to make it and things would get a bit rough there?
I was just worried if it was going to get wrecked or not. I know no one out there was really easy to trust because there were a bunch of team cars from J&S blocking the track up every time they would lap one, so that made it really hard with lap traffic. And then I didn't know what Sean was going to do because I know he wants to win it as much as he can. And then Petey kind of tried to force me down there under the white line, and I just didn't let it happen and got the nose.
Man, it got exciting there at the end. It looked like you had a bit of a run coming off turn 4, like you might have been able to pull it off. Had Petey not come along to push Zach forward, could you have gotten the win?
I'm not sure, but I definitely was trying as much as I could with no help. I knew it was going to be hard, if not impossible, because I knew I didn't have any help up there, and all of the other cars had the help, so.
You still come home with a 2nd place finish. It's been a great season so far, and that continues. How soon do we see you in victory lane again?
I don't know. Probably at one of these intermediate tracks like in Iowa or a Nashville Super Speedway or something that it's kind of just saving gas and maintaining roll speed, I think, is where I'm really going to shine. I know the chassis tuna has some good setups for there, so hopefully we can just get there and shine what we really have. I know Iowa, we've got a pretty good car, but other people will get the car better, so just looking forward to those intermediate tracks. I know there's a stretch of them.
Well, man, a great race. Congratulations on coming home in 2nd. Any team or sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Jeff for putting me in the car. Everyone at Fastlane Motorsports, Brinson for spotting me and his team because he did that for us tonight. He just spotted everyone that he could. He was spotting the whole team and his team. Everyone that helps with setups week in and week out too. Sim Speed Shop, they're main sponsor on the car. Go check them out. Platinum Lures and the Tri-E Cooler Coup. And PD Paints.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations. A great second place finish.
Thank you.
Blake Wynn finishing in second spot tonight. And now it is time to go to Victory Lane, specifically Fuel Factor X Victory Lane, presented by KMU Trucking and Excavating. First career XCAL win for Zach Edwards. You finally did it, man. How does it feel?
Feels awesome, man. You know, I feel like I should have won a couple by now, but I just messed up and gave it away. But we finally pulled one out here, and it feels pretty good.
You absolutely have been due up for one, that's for sure. Take me through those final laps of the race when you were working with Petey, and then you also had Blake and Sean behind you.
Yeah, I knew we were pretty good because Petey did a great job pushing. I owe it all to him. But I don't know what happened getting into one down there, but they got together, and I had a big gap. And I was like, I hope it just wasn't enough to pull him back in, but we held off.
Absolutely was. Did you expect him to make a move or so on the final lap, and same with Blake as well?
Yeah, you know, me and Petey had done talked. We were like, one of us is going to win this for Joe, alloy wheel repair specialist. But, you know, it's the last lap of a plate race. You got to expect anything, and we just made all the right ones.
What does it show as well for this team as a whole on super speedways? You got Joe at Charlotte, and now you win at Michigan.
Yeah, I think it just shows teamwork. You know, we work really well together. We had a game plan coming in, and it got mixed up a little bit, but we found ourselves up there at the end. That's all that matters.
You got the off week for next week. 2 weeks from now, we've got South Boston. What's the outlook look like coming in?
We were pretty fast last time at South Boston, you know, and I think we have a pretty good baseline, so we should be pretty good there again.
Finally, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
I got to give a huge shout-out to this JNS team, man. They work so good together week in and week out, and Danielle, I'm running this special paint for her that Flame and Karma Paint Shop put together, and I got to thank Joe at Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist of the Upstate. He put this race on, and I couldn't do it without all those guys, and of course you guys at How to Suck at iRacing and XCAL, of course.
Well, enjoy this win, buddy. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marty.
Zach Edwards, your race winner as he celebrates in Fuel Factor X Victory Lane, presented by KMU Trucking and Excavating. We bring you your final results from tonight's race, and here's how they look. Zach Edwards takes the race win. Blake wins second. PDJ Zeller third. Sean English fourth. Stephen Rex fifth. Austin Edwards sixth. Luke Turpin 7th, Matt Bear 8th, Ronnie German 9th, Jake Sylvia 10th, Matt Pelletier 11th, Robert Colgan 12th, Ryan Seams 13th, Alex Krapser 14th, Kai Bartos 15th, Jose Gaudino 16th, final car on the lead lap, Sean Patrick 17th, Albert Hewins 18th, Daniel Miller 19th, and Stephen Wetton 20th. Doug?
Jeremy Leto comes home 21st. Jeff Edgar comes home 22nd. Kendrick Cryer pushing his teammate comes home 23rd. John Friley 24th. Jim Johnson comes home in 25th. Gerald Thanos Poole comes home in 26th. Brett Edgar 27th. Art Hendren 28th. Brad Ebel, after leading early, comes home 29th. John Brancaccio 30th. Joe Campbell, rough night, 31st. Greg Hulls 32nd. 33rd is Nicholas Seams. Derek Colson 34th. Mason Foster had a shot at it. Rough ending to that one. Comes home in 35th. Don Jordan 36th. Then Tim Pruitt, Edmund Jones, TJ DeBlasi, Sean Andrews, Jonathan Schwartz, and Jonathan Bergeron all out of the race early.
Final tally for lead changes tonight, 68. That was a fun night of XCAL to watch, and perhaps the best race of the year so far because of not just the 68 lead changes and with all the 3 and 4 wide show, but only one caution in the race. let's bring you our bonus points following tonight. First off, for leading a lap with the 5 bonus points, Zach Edwards leads 20, Blake Wynn 4, PDJ Zeller 1, John English 12, Stephen Rex 17, Austin Edwards 6, Luke Turpin 5, Matt Bear 1, Ronnie German 2, Jake Sylvia 13, Matt Pelletier 14, Robert Colgan 3, Alex Krapser 1, Kyle Bartles 3, Jose Gaudino will get 5 extra bonus points for leading the most laps. He led 34 tonight. Albert Hewins 1, Stephen Wetton 1, Kendrick Cryer 17, Brett Edgar 3, Brad Ebel 11, Greg Holz 4, Nicholas Seams 1, Mason Foster 15, Tim Pruitt 11. And also, fastest lap during the feature was set by Austin Edwards at a 47.995, so 5 extra bonus points to him for that. Starting on the pole position tonight was Brett Edgar, so he'll get 5 bonus points for that. And our hard charger of the race, we got to take a look here, up 32 positions, starting from the 41st spot. Rodney German to finish in 9th, so he'll get 5 extra bonus points for that. We have no super fans in XCAL Racing. However, though, if you're interested in becoming a super fan, make sure you sign up on our Patreon page. For those looking for more info, go to xcalracing.com/2022 and click on Become an XCAL Racing Patreon. You must be 18 or older to view the content. You get exclusive access to the XCAL Racing Discord and a whole lot more. So once again, we are off next week, but in 2 weeks we go to South Boston in what should be a fun one. For that one, we have been to South Boston earlier this season with Luke Turpin taking home the win, Doug.
Yep, it's always an interesting race going to South Boston, and just like here, anything can happen at any time.
Absolutely, that's for sure. So we will bid adieu for tonight on behalf of everyone at XCAL Racing, our president Aaron Hellebush, our vice president PDJ Zeller, and all of our fine senior admins. On behalf of my broadcast partner working in mission control, working the buttons, is Doug Burns. I'm Marty Sakala. We congratulate Zach Edwards' first career win in the XCAL Racing $5 Tuesday Series as he wins the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist 400. If you want to learn more about Alloy Wheel Repair Specialists, check them out online at awrswheelrepair.com or give them a call at 864-787-4525 for their Greenville, South Carolina location. Thanks for watching, everyone. So long.
Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. Howdy, partner. This here's Higgins, the XCAL super fan. This race promises to be a doozy, so I'm getting boozy. Howdy, partner. I'm so excited for next week's event that I'm shaking. Totally different shakes. Howdy, partner. You're watching XCAL Racing.
What?